welcome back to another special edition of the Power Play Show, trade deadline in NHL. The house is full. We have all the insider in the house tonight from Nova Scotia, from Toronto, and from California. Michael DeLaneau is back in the house.
Come on, boys.
Long time. Welcome back, Mr. Michael. Thanks for enjoying us, you with us. And Mr. Inotap, right there in the corner. Welcome back, Mr. Inotap from Toronto. And directly from Nova Scotia. The picture was really him. It was not his brother. It was not. He took it like 2 weeks ago, but I don't know. You have some Photoshop in the picture, may possible. I don't know. But welcome back, Mr. Andrew Lepage in the house.
Hello, everybody. How's it going, Coach?
We don't have a lot of people as an insider full the house, but we have a lot of people already in the house. In the chat already, it would be great to welcome everybody one by one, but it's going to be for a long time, and we have a lot on the menu for tonight. And always when we do that, they ask us, what time we shut down? We don't know. We start, and we never know when we shut down. So we'll be here until you ask questions. The only way, because you have a lot of people, I'm going to, looking for all the question, and I don't want to be 30 minutes behind because it's not make sense. Please put the letter Q in front of your question so I can follow up. If you want to ask this question directly for someone in the chat is here, just put their name like Michael, Andrew, or Inotap, and we're going to drop that question to them. So thanks again to joining us. Again, Bad Monkey, Johnny Golden, Alexis Dubec, Jordan Tyler, Luc Lafortune. And we have also Russ Stubbington, directly for the Boston Bruins. Dan Asham, back in the house. Corey Hill is in the house. Adam Berger, the moderator, collaborator, is in the house. We have also Nat. She was at the game yesterday at the Montreal Canadiens. She went there. She sent me a couple of pictures, so I appreciate about that one over there. We have another one also went to the game last night. I think it was Philip, his last name, show up late in the night about that. And then we have also Adam Berger, like I mentioned. RJ Calabro, Mr. Insider, back in the house tonight. Danny T, the puncher of the bouncer in the chat. Be careful, he's going to be ready to knock down some people in the chat. I did not see Nona, but I'm sure Nona is going to be show up. If I did not see your name, I apologize because the feed is going flying really fast. Dan Collette is here. And that's pretty much what we have, maybe more. But welcome aboard and welcome everybody. A lot of actions during the weekend, of course. A lot of trade come for today. Impact the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yesterday, it was the Florida Panthers, honestly. And we have more maybe come until tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I don't think so. It's over. Some people are looking for a goaltender. So we have a lot of things, action to talk about tonight. And I have a lot of questions for those insider also. So there's going to be an amazing, great night power play. The only thing we ask you is two things. First of all, be respectful inside the chat. And also, if you don't mind, to click on the like, that'd be awesome. Jose Duarte! Super chat. For the first time, Michael DeLaneau, you have to do it. You never do this yet, but you have to join the party because when we have a super chat, we have to do it. Here we go. Super chat. Oh, here we go. One more time. We have two rivers. One more. Super chat. Jose Duarte. Thank you so much about that, Michael. It's just the first time, so I'll give you a couple of money again before you become more excited about that one over there, Mr. Michael. Michael, tell us a little bit before we ask everybody what's going on with you and what's happening with Everett Civiltic. Tell us a little bit more where you at.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded like you said a bad word with silver tips.
Not at all. Never do that.
Yeah, so Everett is, we're top 5 or 6 in the Canadian Hockey League. I've been on quite a number of scouting trips. We drafted in December a catch-up of the 2006 birth year players, and we're preparing right now for the 2007s. The 2007s in the U.S. is pretty strong, so that's pretty exciting. And as a team, and we had an injury to one of our goalies, so we had a small rough patch, but overall, I mean, phenomenal. Hey, wow.
Super chat.
Well, here we go. We have to do it again. Don't go nowhere. Let's go. One more. Super chat. Frank Salazar. 995. Reverse. One more time. Super chat. Frank Salazar. I know Michael remember him. Frank Salazar, the Cubano. Directly from the South Florida. Thanks, Frankie. I don't know. He was in Germany at some points during the week, so I don't know if he's back about that one over there. Here we go. We already know what tab's doing. We know also on draw, so we're going to go right away because we have a lot of people, guys. I hope I can follow up with everybody. The first one, I'm going to cut this. Coach, what do you think about Zito more move with Ekblad, and he has a cap to 7.5. Mr. Tap, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Florida's made some solid moves in the last couple of days, starting with the pickup of Chiarot. So some people might say gave up a little bit too much, but you know what? When you're in it and you want to push for the cup and you feel you're a couple pieces away, that's the way to go. We've seen that model with Tampa Bay. We've seen that model with other teams, Colorado as well, and today as well. Like I think that that was a great pickup of Giroux yesterday, and I think Zito's also not done. I think even though he lost some of his picks, I still think he has some assets in terms of some prospects that he might just turn around tomorrow and pick up some of the picks that he lost in the previous trades, which is a stroke of genius in my eyes.
What about that, Michael?
Well, I think, and we didn't, I don't know if you mentioned Robert Hagg was picked up from Buffalo.
That's right.
So I think that for me, I was surprised when Philadelphia got rid of him. I don't think he's like a superstar defenseman, but he can play top 4 minutes or, worst case number 5. He's a capable, mobile, big defender. So I think they're obviously a little worried about Aaron Ekblad, and I am too. But, the moves, Chiarot is going to be a rock back there if he's healthy. And I think he's a very underrated defender. We saw it in the playoffs. He was really valuable for Montreal going to the final. And so I think those are two really smart moves. Giroux shocked me that he's going there, and I think it was probably exactly what they needed. What do they do with guys like Heponiemi and the Russian kid, Denisenko? Because those are still two assets that have value, perceived value in the market, and I don't know if they'll ever achieve their potential in Florida. So I would not be shocked to see them make another move with one of those two guys, or maybe both, to kind of finish it off. The only thing missing from this team, honestly, is Joel Quenneville. Because on paper, they're like Studley.
Yeah, good point.
I'll just give you an update. He's week to week. Ekblad, they expect him to be back during the first round of the playoffs. So expect him about that one there. The reason they got Robert Hagg right now is because they can move, because Ekblad is out and Mackenzie Weegar is a right defenseman. He play on the left D, so he's going to move out on the right. Now they have Chariot, Forsling, and Robert Hagg. So I think that's a great pick that's the reason they did that. Honestly, the only thing I'm thinking is they're only looking for picks. That's pretty much it. They don't have no hole in it. They cannot move what they have already. I don't see what, you know what I mean? So I don't see what happened about that. Andrew Ford, welcome aboard. We have also Nat. We have Kelly in the house. Dave Zucker for the New York Rangers is in the house. Thank you. Andrew, what coach Phil Kessel trade look like with the Rangers? Do you believe he will be traded to the Rangers or maybe somewhere else?
Something's going to happen with the Rangers. I'm sure of that. Whether it's Phil Kessel is the answer, I'm not quite sure, because, again, we have Lehkonen sitting out there dangling. And I know if I was Drury, I think I would like to have a Lehkonen more so, to tell you the truth. So I don't know if Kessel's going to move to New York right away, right now. You know, it could be an off-season thing, but not quite sure.
Awesome. And we have Mr. Gator Rock Tim T in the house tonight. Welcome back. Another fans of the Florida Panthers is in the house. And we have also Frank is back in South Florida from Germany. So that's great. I think we answered your question, Mr. Anthony, about that one over there. Talking about the Rangers, maybe, and because RJ said Vanetro scored an empty net tonight. Michael, what do you think about Vanetro from the Florida to the Rangers?
I think I was a little surprised at it. He played really well today. He's quick. We know he can score 15 to 20 goals, and he threw a nice hit in today's game, which I haven't seen him do before. He's not a big guy, but I think this is a good, inexpensive pickup for them. I don't see Phil Kessel fitting in that team. If they make that, I would be I'm not a Phil Kessel fan. I think this year less than normal. He looks like a bum right now. I mean, he's just not – he looks like he's more interested in donuts than anything.
Yeah, I
just had a kid, Michael. Be good.
He does. He looks like he's put on a lot of weight. He just doesn't look like he's in shape. Yeah.
He became a father. You guys have to be nice to him.
Just curious, Michael, any words about Rabzov and Bunneman from the Flyers to go to Florida, those rookies or players? Do you know them or not?
So I don't think there's any potential with either of them. Rubstov has already missed out on many opportunities and was not able to make the NHL. And I don't know if Bunham is going to be much of anything. I don't see a lot there. I think they're AHL guys at best. Maybe Bunham, but unless Rubstov has a second coming, but he's kind of getting older now, so I don't think he's going to help them too much.
Mr. Intertap, so Kulak for the first round pick.
What?
Oh, that would be great. Do it right now. I doubt they'll get in anywhere around it. Although there is a lot of rumor out there right now that the interest is really picking up on Kulak. So yesterday he was valued at around a third, but I could see a desperate team probably giving a second for him.
No, we got new members. Wow.
Uh-oh. You know what that
Hey, John.
means?
Welcome. That's cool.
Frank, I have a question for Michael. Do you think the Detroit Red Wings are going to get Peter Marechek?
No.
Do you believe Andrew Peter Marechek will be claimed during the waiver the next 24 hours?
Yeah, there's a good possibility somebody will pick him up, but it's not going to be Detroit.
And after that, if Peter Marechek cannot get claim, do you expect Marechek stay with the Toronto Maple Leafs in the next couple of days or week to come, or until they fix the salary cap, or you don't expect him to come back for the rest of the season with the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I think he's pretty much done with Toronto. If the fact that, I mean, part of the reason they put him on the waiver today was probably to clear some cap space for some of the stuff they were doing, but more importantly, I think he was given the opportunity with Campbell on the shelf to try to prove that he can at least just hold them at bay, the Leafs, while Campbell got healthy again. And he had multiple opportunities and it didn't work out. Now, I'm not saying necessarily it was only his fault, but he didn't help his own cause with some of the goaltending performances he put in. And Calgren's been solid so far.
We welcome back Mr. Luc Lafortune and Luciano Graziano in the house. Both of them talk about Mr. Giordano, so I put the trait up there. Giordano the most, he does not agree with that. And then Giordano is just a quick fix. So one comment, each one of you, maybe 1 minute each, about that trade. Blackwell, Giordano to the Toronto, and return 3 picks, second, and third. Michael.
Theft. I mean, I think that Seattle got taken on this. I mean, we saw a year ago Colin Blackwell playing with elite offensive players in the New York Rangers, and he's a little bit older. He's small, he's fast, he's talented, and he's not that expensive. So I think that was a steal. And then Giordano, if you watch him, is very capable of playing top 4 minutes still. He plays physical. He was the captain in Calgary, and he can still skate. He's in phenomenal shape. I mean, this is a former Norris Trophy winner. So I think that to get only 2 seconds from a team that's going to finish in the top third of the league and then a third, I would have expected they could have got more return. I mean, there's lesser players that got more return, and they got 2 of them.
And I'll tap.
I think Giordano's a solid pickup for the Leafs. I think he'll help them. It's an area that was of concern for them. We were questioning that all year long. I just I'm a little bit weary of the fact that both him and Blackwell are UFAs at the end of the year. So essentially, when you look at it, they've given up 2 seconds, a third for 2 rentals. And if you look at their situation in terms of drafts, they don't have, in the next 3 years, in the top 3 rounds, I think they only have 1 or 2 picks in the top 3 rounds. So the next thing you ask yourself is, does this improve the Leafs to the point that they're going to get out of the first round? And my answer to that is still no, because they have a tough road, whether they're playing Florida or they're playing Tampa. And so as much as I love Giordano, I don't know if it solved the problem.
And I'll tap. And Drew.
Yeah, I think, like Michael said, I do think that Seattle should have got a little more back. I do agree with that, but it's going to help Toronto a bit. I agree with Entertap on that one. I think Blackwell will help them. If they solved 2 problems at once there, they added a little depth to their forward group, and Giordano will help out. Do I think he's enough? Not a chance. I don't think he's to the grade where he's aged so much. Yes, he's still a great player, I give you that. But when things get physical, I don't think he was the answer. I think they missed out on Manson, to tell you the truth. And I just don't think they're going to get out of the first round. I don't think it was quite the answer.
Michael, you're right, because if you split both of them, 1 trade to the left, 1 trade to the right, you should get about like 4 players in return with 4 picks or whatever they are. So great comment about that. Yeah. Michael, is for you. How do you feel about Zayler Raymond almost 3/4 of the way into the season, and where do you see Simon Edvinsson fit on the lineup and when?
Edvinsson will be top 4 next year. He'll be on the left side, I believe. Is he a left shot? I think he is. He's had a phenomenal overall year in Sweden, although I wouldn't say it's the same year that Moritz Seider had in Sweden. I think Moritz Seider had a little more offensive production, but you can see they clearly have a top 4 defenseman there, maybe top 2. He's a rare package. I think there was an inevitable little bit of a dip, but not much with Raymond. If you look at his production, he's on pace for 60 points. Seider, I think, would probably be 55 points, which for me puts him maybe in the lead for the Calder right now. And I know that Zegras has had a good year, and then you can't discount guys like Bunting, and there's some really good rookies if we start adding it up. Like it's been a kind of a good year overall. If I had my pick for Calder, I think it might be Seider right now, but Raymond's probably right there.
This one's for Entertap. Do you believe Ottawa Canada going to after Fiala, or would they not?
I don't think so. I don't see that fit in Ottawa, to be honest with you.
They need goalies.
I think they have other concerns
goalies
before that.
Yeah, they have good defensemen coming, but they might need someone to
fill the
bridge
void.
The gap. Yeah, because you're gonna have Sanderson coming in. You'll have another year with the young guy that came from Vegas, Brandstrom. Shabbat's obviously hurt right now. I think Sanderson's gonna have a bigger impact than people realize, and I think Bernard Docker will eventually also.
He will.
But the goal, I'm not sure what do they have goal? They have Sauter. Was it Mads Silverstrom, the guy that came from the WHL, the big Norwegian goalie?
You talk about Godard?
Oh, the Finnish, the Finnish goalie.
I think he's Norwegian.
Are you talking about Godard?
No.
Godard is that's their prospect right now, 6'7", 6'8".
Matt Sogar.
Yeah.
Sogar.
Matt Sogar is in Belleville. He's 6'7".
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Sogaard. He's Danish. He's from Denmark. He
Just want to confirm Simon Edvardsen is a left shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's why I'm like, the right side's looking really good with Ronick and Seider, and you put him on the left side, and that really gives them an upgrade. They've got a couple of rentals on the left side right now, but I don't know. The future is bright in Detroit overall. I'm disappointed in the development of Zadina. I think a coaching change would probably help him a lot, though.
He asked me this question. I will go to Mr. Andrew. Coach, what do you think of the goalie Toronto got from Finland?
Sateri?
Are you talking about, if he's talking about Calgary, is from Sweden?
No, Sateri,
today.
They signed him today.
No, I'm sorry, not Calgary, it's Alexander.
I don't know much about him, to tell you the truth, but I would think that he must have a half-decent write-up.
He's like a big goalie. He never really panned out. He played in the AHL.
He's also what, 26 now? I think
like 26 or 27. I bet. Yeah, he's an 89. He's 32, guys. He's 32.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Eric Algren is 25 years old. 6'3".
He was drafted by San Jose originally, and that's going back a long time. He's an 89 draft, which is like Sam Gagner.
Right.
Sam Gagner's an 89, so
that doesn't sound like it's going to do a lot for them, to tell you the truth.
No, they need another goalie.
Yeah. I still think they should have went after Varlamov myself. Give him a shot.
Yeah, I don't know, someone. Varley's not had the year you would expect, but
no, but Fleury don't want to be in Toronto, so what do you do, right? With who's
he doesn't.
Then although Korpisalo would have been a good move too, really good move.
Again, this is where I go back to numbers, and as much as you watch Korpisalo and he battles and everything, his numbers are always terrible. His save percentage is never. I don't even know if he's like an 8 something.
For the next question, I want to welcome John Lowry with Mr. Kendem Resico. Welcome back, and also Zev Lecave is with us. Thanks everybody. Michael, what is Vegas going to do? They always wait until the very end. What is the situation with that? Patrick back on ER, by the way.
Maybe they pick up
Heart healthy and ready in minutes.
Oh, what's that? Oh, that's Mad Sogaard's page just started playing a commercial. Jesus. Mads, you don't need the money. You just got a contract.
So what happening with Vegas?
Oh, they need a goalie. I think they would pick up Mrazek, if anything. That might be an option.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that would help.
I think they'll take a shot at it. I think they will.
I think they might. I would not be surprised if they try that. They're not winning anything with Jack Eichel. I think they're going to regret trading Peyton Krebs, and already Alex Tuch is outscoring Jack Eichel. So that looks not great. And then Kelly's other deal that swapped around, like, Nolan Patrick's still not ever going to be what we hoped. So I don't know what's going on there. Just the injuries are too much. I think that what are they on, 6-game losing streak or something?
Oh no, I think they won their last couple games.
They finally won the last 2. Yeah,
5-1 or 5-2 yesterday.
They lost 5 in a row, but that was again. It goes back to goaltending. So was Thompson in the last 2 games?
I believe so.
Sorry again.
Thompson, I think.
He won the last 2 games.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got potential to be a reasonably decent goalie, but I mean, he's no solution for them. If Leonard's not healthy, they're not doing anything.
I think it's always risky to go with 2 rookies like Thompson or Calgary to go to playoff that way over there. I don't think so. That will helping. And our top, did Tyler Bertuzzi get vaccinated or not?
Nope.
It doesn't look like it will. They're just hoping the situation obviously gets better with the pandemic, which it has, but I don't think he's going to go that route. I think he made his views well known, and he lived with the consequences, which was not playing any games in Canada.
9 games, big deal.
Welcome, Mr. Alan Vaillancourt et Balfulo. Tipolo is back in the house. Is that the case? Giordano will stabilize, but getting old. About that, then absolutely not. No, prove the Leafs to get up first round. 2-1 Arizona. Felix Lachance, so welcome back in the house. I'm sorry about that. I think the trade improved Toronto. From Alan Vaillancourt.
It did. But
it did,
whether
100%.
it's enough, I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's my point where I think it's a bit of an overpay. It's one thing if maybe they extended Giordano even another year or two, then you can make a case for it. But let me throw it out a different way here. We know that Boston picked up LINDHOLM, right? And they gave up what they give up 2 firsts and a second, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Coach.
1 first, 2 seconds, and Vakinen.
Right. And so if you're the Leafs, which of those 2 options would you rather have had? Like, I think they gave up a boatload for LINDHOLM.
Oh, they gave up. No, they signed him for an 8-year extension, which.
Yeah, he got signed today.
Which helps. But, I mean, what I'm trying to get at is the Leafs could have put LINDHOLM in that position as well and had him extended, whereas I don't think Giordano's going to extend with the Leafs, personally.
I bet she does. I bet she stays 1 more year.
It was signed there. It would be really cheap contract, exactly like Jason Spencer. He's from Toronto. I'm telling you right now, he's going to get there like $2 million, something like that. Yep. That's it.
I agree with that. I would be shocked if he doesn't.
I agree with you about that. Let's go with Mr. Renata. Does Edvinsson go with Slater or Renek as a defenseman? About that one over there. If you are the Detroit Red Wings, Simon Edvinsson's coming next season in NHL. Do you expect he's going to be pairing with the rookie Zeder or the veteran H. Renek?
Probably with Roenick, I would say, just because he's got a few more years and it would be more beneficial for him. I think Seider's, I mean, for me, if I had to give the Calder today, I would give it to him because it's the most difficult position. And he's really shown that he's almost at that elite level. This guy, we're going to see a lot of Norris trophies going his direction in the future. But I don't know if I would pair him, with a 1 year, like with a sophomore the following year. Like it might be a tough matchup there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, are they not both right-handed defensemen?
No. What are you saying? No. Roenick and Seider are both right, but Edmondson's left.
Yeah.
Edmondson's left. Okay. Yeah.
At the same time, Buddy asked maybe for Michael, because you know more them. Do you believe they will add another left defenseman, top 4 somehow, somewhere? And what do you think they will do with Nick Leddy? Because he was healthy scratch, and do you expect he's going to be traded before 3:00 p.m. tomorrow?
It's possible they move him. The thing about Nick, he's a beautiful skater, but he can make some really crazy turnovers, and he tries to do a little too much sometimes. So it would not surprise me if they move him and get some assets back. I think they got to add another left shot defenseman other than Edvinsson. To me, that's kind of like surprisingly a glaring hole right now.
Mr. Andrew, are the Leafs all done?
Are the Leafs done? There may be one more. I don't think it's going to be a major move if they do make a move. It's just going to be a depth move. But there could be one more move for sure. No doubt about it, but we'll see what happens.
In our tap, Kelly asked you, Andrew, in our tap, do you think they're looking for the goalie? Try to get a goalie. If it's yes, Michael Deveno, after that, you tell me which goalie.
I don't know. I don't know what they have left to deal with. I mean, they're right at cap. They don't have picks to deal with. They still have Robertson and I guess Hall, but that's no big asset for anybody. It'll be hard. I think they'll look if there's a cheap option somewhere, but I don't see it happening.
And I maybe Michael, you can remind me, because now you talk a lot about Evanson. They don't have like Solomon over there too? Detroit? They have another Sweden, very solid, great players also.
Like, are you saying defenseman?
As a forward, maybe.
Well, they've got Soderblom.
Here we go, Soderblom. Here we go.
Yeah, he's had a phenomenal year. Elmer Soderblom's got 20 goals. He's 6'7", 6'8" forward who can skate and has skill, and he's just been getting better and better. So that's looking like an absolute steal at 6th round. I mean, he's going to be. I think he'll be over with the team next year. I'd be shocked if he's not. But they need a D, man. They need like another top D, I think.
Michael from Johnny Golden ask you, if a right go first, who do you have as second? Who do you take?
It's a weird draft here for me, Pierre. I don't like any of the American kids that are being slated there, and I don't know if there's enough high end. And even Shane looks okay. So it's going to be a weird year. I think logically, it just depends who's there. You know, people are touting Cooley. I'm kind of lukewarm on Cooley. He's good, but I'm not sure. Like, do you project Cooley as being a franchise player? I have a hard. Are you a big fan, Andrew, of Logan Cooley?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I don't like his size.
No, I'd put Slafkovsky or Geeky ahead of both of them ahead of him.
And see, I don't think he got top end offense. I think he's a very robotic player that might be better suited to the second or third line center role. And I think Slafkovsky, I love the package, but when you really look at it game in, game out, he might be similar. He might be either better on the wing. He reminds me of Pavel Zacha, and where you've got a long maturation at the next level, and he may not have top offensive numbers. So I don't know. It's a weird draft for me. I think you could roll the dice on the second pick right now. I like Nemec. I like the defenseman Nemec. I don't know if Jiricek's done enough to say he's a second overall.
He's increasing his value now. He jumped from 6'7" now to maybe top 4.
Yeah, I've always liked Nemec, and Pierre knows this. Like, if we thought that he would come over, I would have picked him in the European draft for the W. Although our pick has worked out extremely well. To me, he could be the top 2 Slovakian defenseman ever.
Yeah.
Mr. Andrew, about the trade HAMONIC to Vancouver Canucks, 3rd round pick. What do you think about that?
So this is going to
that caught me off guard. That trade really did catch me off guard. I like it. I think it's a good move. I think it's going to work out for them. I think it was a great pickup.
But didn't HAMONIC say that he didn't want to go back to the East End?
I believe he said that, but I think he's a great pickup for them. I really think he's gonna help them out quite a bit.
Yeah. He may never
play good fit.
Them.
Yeah, and then they turn around, and they got their 3rd back, Vancouver. Right? Didn't they get their 3rd round pick back? That's what it cost them for.
Yeah, they gone back that one. That 3rd round pick, it was crazy because they used from Vegas and they go everywhere. Right. They come back. No,
it's crazy.
So it'd be like very interesting about that. One point I want to mention, Mr. Stratic is back in the house, but he talk also about the fact like Giordano have a clause for use his 19th team to go where he want to be. So the leverage over TML as Montreal was not the same way. Honestly, he's right about that one there. If they want Corpusalo, by the way, percentage 8.78. Well, I think it's 8.78. Do you believe Corpusalo will be traded tomorrow, Michael?
I think I don't get the love for him, but I think he could be moved. I mean, that could be a Toronto or a Vegas destination too. I don't think there's any tier 1 options right now.
Welcome, Mr. Carlos. Ask you, Mr. Notab, do you think Ab will sign Harris? Because I don't think he will have with Mike Bergevin as a GM. What do you think if he's going to sign? We're not talking about this at the same time as we can talk. This is the bracket for NCAA. We're going to talk about this during the week, but very interesting. 7 players from Montreal Canadiens prospect is in this race right now on the NCAA.
Well, Jordan Harris and Struble, they play each other. I think it's the 25th in that tournament. So, yeah, you know what? To answer the question, yes, I think Harris will definitely be signed. I think that was a big part of getting the management that they did in Montreal because of the recognition factor with Gordon and Hughes. So I think he will get signed, and he might even come right up as soon as he's out of this tournament and probably play a few games here in Montreal.
So again,
I think once he gets kicked out of the tournament,
NCAA.
the Frozen Four, that he will get signed. He will sign, and he'll probably play a couple games here in Montreal.
Michael, you see the bracket right now. Do you see a team like what? Who do you believe is going to win this bracket right now? I know you're not going to take Michigan, but
well, I mean, I think they've got an easy first round. You know, I think they're not going to really have any potential. It's tough. I mean, that left side doesn't inspire, fear. Like they might have trouble in the second pairing. Like they should win the first round pretty handily, and I think the second round too. But after that is where there's potential. But I mean, they are a strong team. I don't think eventually they'll win it all, but definitely they're the team to beat still, though.
Yeah, I agree with you about that one there. Branson asked if François injured too in our tap or Andrew. Do you know that? Or?
Sorry, repeat that, please.
François, if he's hurt or not for Vegas.
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't think he is. I haven't
heard anything.
Renaud, welcome aboard. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. That'd be awesome.
Actually, Coach, I had a question for Michael, actually. Like today, actually, Detroit, the Kings acquired, what's his name, Stetcher from Detroit for a 7th. Do you think that was sufficient? I was a bit surprised there was only a 7th.
I mean, he's fallen a lot on their depth chart this year, so I think that's probably, and he's unrestricted, I think, after this, right? He only had a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, he is what he is. Like, he's going to be a 7th defenseman in LA. And I think even Detroit, he was a 7th or an 8th defenseman. So,
but I guess it's because they have so many injuries on defense in LA that they went that direction. I don't think LA's done either yet. They're showing a lot of interest in Kulak as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, I could see them pick up a D.
Yeah.
Do you believe Vegas make the playoff or not?
Nope. I mean, I think they'll make it, but barely. Like, I just don't think they're going to.
They're on life support.
They're a mess.
In our top, they make a playoff or not?
Oh my goodness. To me, it always comes down to Stone. Does Stone come in before, like in the next little while? If he doesn't, I don't think they make it.
And
Dallas won today.
Pacioretty's down too, eh?
Dallas win and Winnipeg win.
That's right. So it's
wow.
It's going to be very tough. I see them as one of the teams looking on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So they have 72 points in 64 games. Dallas still has 3 games in hand.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think Winnipeg I don't think the move in Winnipeg coaching wise has worked out, which I kind of didn't think it would. So I just don't see them challenging, but Dallas is 10 games above 500. So I think legitimately they could. They still have, in my mind, some, really iffy goaltending. And the big guys like Radulov has had a terrible year. I don't think Klingberg's had a wonderful year. So, like Sagan's doing okay. He's not, 40 goal Sagan, but he's still capable. I don't know. I just feel like Dallas is still underachieving for me, but
Well,
Yes,
they
we'll
they
see.
sort of picked it up a little bit. I know what you're
Little-
saying. They were very inconsistent at the beginning of the year, but I mean, I think they still have a solid first line. Their
They got on
goaltending,
paper, they're great.
yeah. And the key, I
Problem.
think, lately has been that guys like Sagan and Ben have picked it up a little bit. Not to the anywhere near their form, of course, but
No,
Nowhere
that
near.
helps.
they've given that secondary scoring, right? That has allowed them to stay there. Now, the injury to on defense to Hankinen worries me a little bit because that means they can't trade Klingberg. I think he's going to hang on to the end of the year.
Yeah, I
He's
don't think
skate
they'll-
tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, but he's not ready yet. But he starts skating with the team tomorrow. But they don't expect him the next maybe 7 days. But
I expect them to make a move even tomorrow to address something, maybe on defense or some secondary scoring. Could you see Phil Kessel going there?
I could actually. I could see them.
Yeah.
What, right or wrong, I could see them getting a Phil Kessel. Like, I don't,
I
love
don't
that,
like the
but
guy,
they're
but yeah.
invested in Ryan Suter, and I think these guys want to win now, and they think even if they get in, that they can go on a run. And I don't necessarily disagree with them. Like, Ottinger might be fine in net, and Holtby's numbers have been decent. Like, he's definitely raised his game. So I think overall that, but you've got some really disappointing guys like Kivi Ranta has got one goal. Like, but then you've got Peterson, I think, who's been a great pickup. Radulov's been a waste of
Not
space. Guryanov's not played where I thought he would play. So that, they're down on a few things like Klingberg minus 15, Sagan minus 14. Like, it's like a tale of two teams. It's weird. Because then you got plus 15 and 16 for other guys.
next question is coming from John Laurie. A lot of rumor around the boat. Blue goalies. Is there a market for one of them, Mr. Andrew? If
For
one
which
of them
goal?
got trade, which goaltender for the Blues?
Would go. Okay, so if they're unloading, I think Billington goes. Tell you the truth, that's my opinion. I think Husso's done a better job for them.
Michael, do you think they will trade Bennington or they will keep him?
I think that there's definitely a possibility they could move, and that contract's going to be a little tricky because it's 6.5, I think.
Yeah.
And is it 2 or 3 years left?
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4, because it was a 6-year deal times 6,
It was 5 years, I believe.
something like that, right? It was pretty
I
long.
think it was 5 years.
I believe in Binnington. Jordan is the type of goalie where he can get in a zone and he will win a bunch of games. He'll steal them. And if he's in, if you moved him to a Edmonton or a Toronto, you might be shocked what
Wow.
happens, because he might be really angry, and he's the type of guy where he gets in a zone and he just he's like Carey Price. You don't see, it's stoic, and then he just keeps winning. And there's a very few goalies that have that. Like, I look at Price can do that, he can do that. Darcy Kemper can really do that. Like, they don't express it by, being angry. So if they moved him and Edmonton grabbed him, which I don't think Edmonton's smart enough to do it, but if they did it, then that would be a missing piece for them. I think he would really perform for them.
5 more years at $6 million per year.
That's why I say he'd be the one I would choose out of the two to go.
Yeah.
But do I
don't
really
think
think he's going? I don't really think he's going. I think if he goes, it's going to be in the opposite.
Talking about the Blues, do you think they were looking for a left defenseman? If yes, which one they can pick it up for tomorrow?
Yeah, they're going to be.
Do we think Edmondson is going anywhere?
Sorry, who?
Edmondson?
Joel Edmondson, is he back?
I don't think.
Yeah,
then
he's
again,
back. He's
You know,
he's not going to move.
like Hughes said, if you wow him, maybe. But I think he's kind of the anchor they want to hold on to. But again, you wow him, who's to say?
If he's an anchor, you're in trouble.
Well, we are in trouble.
Yeah.
Andrew will have a question for you, Mr. Inotap. With la signature LINDHOLM with the Boston Bruins, do you think this is the end of Bergeron in Boston, or they still thinking he can come back? They have enough money anyway to keep both of them.
Why would he leave?
Well, Yeah,
Yeah, really.
exactly.
I can't see
I,
why you go.
yeah, no, I don't see that at all. Actually, Boston, if you look at their cap space, their deadline cap space, they still have money to go out there and get another
Yep.
solid player. So that doesn't surprise me. I think that they addressed that issue. Just even going back to we were talking about St. Louis and a left-handed defenseman for them. I mean, the ask might be too much, but Chickering could still be in play. The
Yeah.
other thing could be Middleton from San Jose, and that might be a much cheaper, better option. I think he's a restricted free agent at the end, so
Isn't
they'd have
Jacob a
to.
Ranger?
No, Jacobs left, I believe.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. I don't know why I
Yeah.
always thought he was a Ranger.
Yeah, he's
He's a
not.
left.
And the word is on Aaron that there's a good chance somebody is going to take a chance on him because he'll be ready for the playoffs. So I actually would not be one bit surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be one bit surprised he gets picked up by somebody.
Middleton is a RFA.
RFA.
He's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yep.
he's going to be a number 6 or 7, the guy anyway. Like Chikrin has the ability to be obviously a number 1. He had a bad start. He's had the injuries. I guess I don't know. I have to ask them why they would move him because he's not that old. Like he's like
It's
24.
never
No,
made
he's-
sense to me that he's on the block.
He's only
It's never
23.
made sense.
He's
Yeah,
23.
He
He has
fits
his whole
in their
career ahead
system
of him.
perfectly, if you ask me. So there's got to be something else going on behind the scenes that we don't know. Because
Maybe
I
he
wouldn't
wants
get
a-
rid of him.
Yeah, but he's.
Yeah.
I think his contract right now is around 4.5, 4.6.
425.
Still, yeah, and he's got 3
Not that
years
bad,
left on it.
right?
The problem, I think, is that the ask from Arizona is huge, and
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what team can fill that gap. That's
True.
the
Yeah,
problem.
they would want a truckload. That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
would LA? Can LA possibly entertain that?
Sure. LA is stacked with young talent.
That's
Like,
what
they
I
have
thought.
so much stuff that's not even in the NHL. Like you got Jared Anderson Dolan. Byfield is obviously, they kind of are trying to bring him along. So I don't think they're going to move him. Velarde is still like, I don't understand what's going on with Velarde because he's scoring in the A, and when he had a great camp and then he had a rough start, but there's something there that doesn't click in LA. They've got Thomas, Akil Thomas. They've got Samuel Fajimo. Like they are absolutely stacked with young talent.
See, if I were LA, I'd go with that. I think that's a very good option. And if I'm Arizona, it makes sense because, I mean, to stockpile all the draft picks that they have, I mean, not all of those are going to work out. We know that.
Exactly.
So you have to have some good A prospects, which they have a couple nice players and pieces on their team currently. If they can pick up a couple more and then they have the draft picks that they have, they'll be okay down the road. But yeah, I'd love to see Chikrin go to LA.
His dad finished up, I think, in LA, Jeff.
Arizona's going to have to get realistic, though. I mean, they're just wanting way too much. That's my theory on it. And that, if they want to mess that trade up, keep asking for the world to be given to you. It's not going to happen. So they got to get down to earth.
Yeah,
they should just keep.
But they're in no need to
I think
get
so
rid of
too.
him.
That would be my first choice.
Who wants to play in front of 5,000 fans next year? I mean, they're going to be in literally an NCAA arena.
Yeah,
it's going to be really crazy.
All right. Who do you think? What do you think Hurricane's going to move before tomorrow? Carolina Hurricane.
I think they have to make a move. I mean, everybody around them in that conference is strengthened themselves. Florida has. I think Toronto a little bit has. I think Minnesota improved a little bit, and I still suspect they're going to do something big tomorrow. I don't think Fleury's out of the question for Minnesota yet. So yeah, like I think they're going to have to make some kind of move. Maybe it won't have to be like a top 6. It could be a bottom 6 forward or some a little bit improvement on defense as well.
Their D is stacked though. Like the
It
best
is.
signing of the year was D'Angelo. Like whenever I watch this guy, the only guy you could think of, which I think is impossible to move out, is Brady Shea, and even he's been decent. Ian Cole has been an absolute like rock back there, and then you've already got Slavin and Pesci. Ethan Bears fits in perfectly as a third pairing D. They don't really have a lot of holes there. I mean, and on forward, like where do you put someone?
Been so underrated. I mean, that guy is amazing. So it would have to be, somebody either on the third or fourth line if they do that.
Third line left wing is Steve Lorenz right now, and I could see that moving out. Kakanyemi, I was watching him today. I was like, who is that slow guy? And I realized it was Kakanyemi. Absolutely horrible speed, trying to catch someone who's just like accelerating.
If Toronto get lost the first round, who get fired first, or who you think will get fired? Dubas, Shanahan, or Keefe, or all of them?
Everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be fire sale for management.
Elijah Bounce, welcome aboard. Shani play old school, love Delorier, but what do you think about Delorier with Minnesota Wild?
Awesome.
I like that move.
That pickup because my fear was that when they went into that slump, teams were figuring out that if you push Minnesota hard enough and play a rough and tough game, only one guy really answers the bell, and that's Foligno, and he shouldn't be doing that because this guy could put the puck in the net and play a much different type of game than instead of sitting in the penalty box. So, and I love the conference that Delorier gave, where he said, "Hey, I'm here to relieve everybody of any kind of fighting. I'm here. I'll take care of that. You guys think about scoring, and I'll take care of the rest."
My type of guy.
Yeah.
Michael, what do you think about Meki Samoukevich?
He's got potential. I'm trying to picture what he is in the NHL, if anything. But, I think that was a pretty savvy pick. He's got skill. He's having a great year.
Welcome, Mike Hoffman. He maybe have a day off tonight, so he's with us tonight at number 68. Mr. Andrew, do you think Yzerman can do for Detroit what he did in Tampa?
Most definitely. Most definitely. I think with 2 years' time, that team is going to be one of the major playoff teams, for sure. 2 years. Give it 2 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things.
They look good. The talent in there is just unbelievable. He's just a genius.
And out top, would Kulak make sense for Calgary? They will have around $1.5 million space for tomorrow deadline.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, I don't think he's going back to Calgary.
They picked him up on waivers, I believe. Montreal picked him up on waivers from there. Does it make sense? I mean, I guess depends what you get in return, but it could fit. But I think Calgary's pretty much set. I don't see them doing very much tomorrow.
Jose Duarte said that there were rumors Vancouver was interested in Ekval and Mikheyev. Do you think they can trade there, Michael, Ekval and Mikheyev to Vancouver? And talking about this, they also trade Travis Dermott selection trade, Toronto trade.
Yeah, I mean, Dermott is the most expensive mistake Toronto made in the expansion draft because they could have kept Jared McCann, and that would have solved a lot of problems. He's one of the only things Seattle's done that's turned out. I think it's by accident, and that might have been preordained. Dermott is still he's 25. He can skate, and he's smart, and he's got a little bit of offensive instinct. So I think it's a good pickup by Vancouver. They had, they did this to make room for Giordano, and I think that's an upgrade for them no matter what. Mikheyev, I don't see why Engvall and Mikheyev would move unless it's to upgrade those spots. Engvall's had a good year. I think he's got 10 or 11 goals. And Mikheyev is useful in the third line, kind of like he can flex up a little bit on the wing. So I don't know. For the money and what he does, he's a pretty good player.
Following
he's himself.
Michael, what are your thoughts about Edmonton All Kings season? Who are your members? By the way, talking about them, Caden Coley out after he got fight, he got hurt, so Coley is out.
Well, I mean, they are the favorite. They are stacked. They picked up the captain from the Vancouver Giants earlier in the year. They picked up the defenseman. What's his name? The big defenseman, the kid that came out, Trocop. Is that his name?
I think so.
Is that it? Right? Yeah. They're stacked at every position. So I mean, they got Casa and net, and
McDavid
forward, and they're just like ridiculous. They're really stacked. So they're the team to beat in our league, and indeed, I think they're probably the team to beat in the CHL. But we're not going away. I mean, we're top 5, so Everett's legitimately in that mix.
In our tap in Andrew, who is the 4th defenseman out of the Norris?
Who's the 4th defenseman out for the Norris?
Out.
Who misses the top 3?
Who would be 4th?
Who's going to win? Like, do you think?
Cider is my pick to go.
You got McCarr, you got Fox, you got
Fox
Cider.
McCarr.
You have.
Three.
I mean,
fourth.
I mean, I really like if they had an award just for a defensive defenseman, because I think somebody like Slavin would definitely be there.
Maybe.
But I mean, those are probably the top 3 or 4. Am I missing any?
Hedman has had a phenomenal year.
Oh, Hedman, yeah. How can I forget
Hedman? Oh my God!
It's Adam Fox is out right now.
Yeah,
Adam Fox is out. He played today, didn't he?
But yeah, I think he did.
You mean okay? So I'm going to say the name we're all overlooking is Roman Yossi, because look at Roman Yossi's. He's got like 60 points, guys. He's the leading. Yeah. He's got. I am sorry. He has 75 points.
He's the guy who should take it.
Roman Yossi has 75 points in 60 games.
Yeah. That's I totally forgot about him.
Yossi, he should take it.
So right now it's McCarr, Edmund, and OZ, and Adam Fox for me is the guy is out of that race.
Yeah, for sure.
And sadly, we forgot Slavin, by the way, but that's another subject one more day about Slavin. Michael, or maybe in our tap, what do you think about Brett Staff play? He has a pretty good year. Will Montreal sign him or not?
Actually, before that, Coach, I just wanted to ask you, because we were talking about Carolina earlier and what could they add. Do you guys see Lehkonen fitting into there on the third line?
I think they'd have that great finish thing going.
What would they be willing to give up for Lehkonen?
Kotkaniemi.
Kotkaniemi too. Yeah, we'll give you Kotkaniemi for Lehkonen, because we would rather, and we will pay the entire salary.
The rumor, honestly, what I heard, it was like they were willing to give them a 2nd round pick with Ranzuski and maybe another late pick for Lehkonen.
What?
2nd round pick, a 5th or a 6th, and Ranzuski.
I think they have to up that a little bit.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Wait, you think that Ryan Suzuki? You would give a 2nd Suzuki and something else for Lehkonen?
Yeah.
He's that important to the Habs.
Because they're a terrible team.
We haven't got that much to care about.
Yeah, but like Ryan Suzuki is no bum.
No, he's not. He's not.
No,
but,
not at all.
It's still not enough for me. If you're going to make that move, he's good, but he's not elite enough to do that. I mean, I think Hughes is really got
career year guy, 13 goals in 58 games. Like, what am I talking about here?
So anyway, the question is, Brett Stapley was going to sign or not with Montreal?
I don't know.
I think there's a pretty good chance he might. I think that's part of the plan was to develop the kids properly and make sure that their young kids are taken care of, and I can see them I can see them prioritizing him in that mix for sure.
Banamoki asked Mr. Andrew, let's go. Do you think Gio Levy has any future in NHL after he got switched from Winnipeg to Florida and now he's... So do you think he's going to be...
who is this?
Gio Levy.
He's in Detroit.
Yeah.
He's in
yeah.
Detroit,
I
yeah.
don't think so.
He's on his
I don't
last
think
legs in
so.
Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a future.
Look like right now a lot of people want a hot dog, and it look like we have a 6 new team in NHL: Kansas State, Houston, Quebec, Hamilton. I don't know. At the end of the night, or maybe 42 from each team in NHL at the end. We'll see what happen. They look like have a great time in the chat anyway. Kelly asked one of you, will Raymer come back to the league? If I read it online that it might.
Why not?
It's possible. It's possible.
It is
but
possible. They're in such bad shape there.
He can.
I don't think that solves the
he
problem.
can steal games and then he can blow games.
He's not bad.
He's just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
yeah.
like
When
a
he's hot, he's hot.
flip-flop goalie.
Yeah.
He's
and he's
he's
shown
better than
that
other
consistently this year with San Jose. Like
He started
I saw him play a few games where he looked totally unbeatable, and then some games he's out of position, he's down on his knees way too
That's him.
quick,
that's his whole
allows
career,
6
man.
or 7 goals.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question on them. He's asked, do you think LA or Vegas, who make the playoff, or they don't make the playoff, or they both make the playoff?
LA's definitely in.
Yeah,
I think LA's in, but I think Vegas and Dallas are going to be battling for that last spot.
But isn't no? There's someone ahead of
Yeah.
both of them though.
Yeah, there is someone, but I do think
Well,
with
Nashville has the other wild
yeah,
card right now.
Nashville's making it.
Yeah, Nashville's gonna beat both of them. I think it really comes down to
Yeah,
Vegas
Vegas
and
and
Dallas.
Dallas. I think
Yeah.
Vancouver hurt their cause. Like they look good, and now they lost 2 or 3 in a row now.
Two in a row,
And
yeah.
they're, if you look at their strength of schedule, it's not very good for them going the rest of the way.
Exactly.
So
No.
I think Vancouver's out of the equation. Winnipeg, if they don't win 9, they got
It's
what 20
over.
games. I think they have to
Yeah,
win about 15.
Too many wins
And
they
that's
need.
not going to
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Johnny
So,
asked you for you guys. Do you believe Rangers are willing to trade Alexis Lafreniere? Some rumor was getting out this weekend about that. They maybe trade Lafreniere. Do you believe they will trade him, or do you feel like if he trade, where or what whatsoever?
I'll take him in
I don't
Montreal.
think so. I mean, I know we'd like to have him, and I know that, of course, to solve the French issue, it'd be a wonderful move that way. But I don't think New York's going to give up on him quite yet. I think they're going to give him a little more time. Give him some time. He's only been there a short period of time.
Yeah, like the guy's a 20 goal scorer. That's what he's capable of doing already.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the reality is Pierre knows that I always have a problem with this. He was an overage birth year, and there was a lot of Quebec hype on top of it.
Yeah.
So he went a year later, and you comparing him to kids that are a year younger in his draft year.
Right.
So that, that hides some of the problems. But I mean, he is a high-end talent. I don't get, maybe in a
I think he'll
different
be
city.
fine.
Sorry?
I think he'll be fine, truthfully. I think if they just give him a little more time, I think he's going to
what
Well, they
totally
have.
fit
He
in.
is-
I mean, this year he's had some more time.
Do you expect the Florida Panthers make a big trade like Klenberg or Dylan or something like that, or you don't expect that?
I don't think they
I
have
can't see
to tell you the truth. I think they've done enough, to be honest. I think they're legitimately right there with Tampa now, in my
Would you
opinion.
say-
But
Would you say that
nothing
they're
would
the
surprise me
deepest
the way
team
that
right now?
GM's going, though.
No, he's sharp, man. I like his
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Stresic said,
I think
should the
that-
Kings be doing any more getting Stetcher for a 7th round? We got that earlier. This is the trade. What do you think about the trade? And also, do you think the Kings should do something before tomorrow?
I mean, they seem very solid in net. I think both goalies have played good. I think getting one more defenseman would not hurt them.
I think the situation with Dowdy is the problem right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Um,
Take victory.
and Stetcher have nothing with Detroit, did not play anymore. Like, you have nothing there. Frank asked you about the injury with Ekblad back-to-back year with injury. Do you think they were getting trade him in the future? You would believe they would keep him?
Not yet.
No, they'll
Not
keep
yet.
him. First of all, it wasn't the same leg. It was the right leg this time. The operation he had last year was the left leg. And second of all, I mean, this guy's, his future's in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Too good of a player right now.
Look like Quebec and Renault Zef, and they're entertaining with Detroit, with Quebec right now. Corey asked a question. Zezev, Josh Brown, Brankstrom, would Ottawa trade them, yes or no?
Sure.
I wouldn't let go Vanstrom, the defenseman. I would hold on to him. But Brown, I'd let go.
No.
Brown's very
love
good.
Brown.
Brown's very underrated, but he's not young.
He is. But I mean, to me, he's like Lehkonen. He's in that same boat. If you give them the right offer, why not?
Yeah,
right.
I could see him being really useful and a piece.
Good player.
That a lot of people would like. Like if you're Toronto right now, wouldn't you like? Hey, I'd rather have Brown than Kerfoot.
Yes.
They gave him up. Like that was like a really poor assessment of what they had in the kitty. You know, like
yeah.
Danny didn't ask a question, but I'm going to make a question with his statement. He said something about underdog win the Stanley Cup. Maybe not the Stanley Cup, but do you believe Toronto can be an underdog team during the next playoff?
Gone in the first round.
Yeah, I feel like they might be gone in the first round again.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the first round, I can't see him getting. The East is stacked this year. I just don't see him getting out of there. And
Rangers?
just FYI, everyone, tonight, Georgiev, a 44 save shutout.
Yeah,
Maybe they're auditioning him.
Welcome back, Elio Biancucci. Elio was with us, Michael. I don't know if you remember him, a long time at the beginning of the show. He asked, do you see Whiteman get traded tomorrow for the Montreal Canadiens?
Oh, I hope so. Please. But you're going to be lucky if you get a 7th round for him.
Yeah, he's not going to fetch much.
No.
Luc Lafortune asked a question. Do you believe Batman improve hockey or put the league in the dollar strap league?
What? It's like he's turned this into a legitimate
monopoly. Yeah. Major monopoly.
So innovation because under that era and revenue, it's not even comparable.
No.
Look,
I'm not a fan of his, but he's done wonders with what he's done for the league.
Yeah, I have no problem.
I mean, the fact that he doesn't look to divest in Canada, I get that. I know why.
It's a dump.
But let's keep in mind he works for the owners, right? And so I think what he's done in terms of just television revenue and opening up the expansion over the years. Has brought in a lot of money for them. I don't like it, but I think he's done a good job.
I don't know. I never understand what the problem with him is, because when you listen to him speak on XM or any other time, he's very clear. You can understand you don't feel like what's his agenda? It's to grow the game, and that's always been what he's done. He's done exactly what he said. They cut a deal with Major League Baseball around the streaming technology. And they were one of the first to build out like advanced analytics through SAP. And that, what, like it or not, that has changed the type of fan that is interested in NHL hockey. So I think there's a segment of analytics in there that was never in there before, and they recognize that. They did the streaming before the ESPN deal with the Major League Baseball platform. And then when they said, listen, we already have this number, what will you give us for it? They sold it and got an even better deal with ESPN Plus. Like, it's been nothing but win-win-win. He had the guts twice to lock out the players, and they won in both scenarios in renegotiating very favorable terms. He had guts to expand to 32 teams. Like, who would, when I was growing up, and you guys too, maybe, it was like 21 teams in the NHL.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not remember.
Everybody just about.
I just know that I think he's
everybody
like
made the
what you're
playoffs.
saying. Those points you've made are totally exactly what I see. He's done a fabulous job that way.
No,
I don't like his. I don't like his personality, to be honest.
That's exactly it, Andrew. And I
yeah,
think that's what people
he's
are
cocky
to.
Yeah, but he's a great businessman. Great businessman.
Yeah,
He's a
no doubt about it.
businessman. He's a lawyer. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing. It's sometimes the arrogance in which he does certain things. And
yes.
I personally don't like the way he handled that Hamilton situation with Vasily a number of years ago, and he totally locked him out when I guess Vasily tried to go sideways and get an organization in there, and he knows that Toronto and Buffalo don't want anybody else in that.
Jim is a pain in the ass. Okay, like I worked at BlackBerry. Jim is next level pain in the ass. Jim, his ego is 100 times.
Oh yeah.
And
but
Jim,
that's what I think it was. It was a clash of egos.
Yeah.
It was a clash of egos, and he said, "I'm going to win this," and lo and behold, he did it.
Of course, he's going to win that. He owns like the league, and you're nothing. You're trying to sneak in. That's not going to work. Like all you have to do is read the bylaws and know that anything you're going to do. But Jim doesn't care about stuff like that.
Couple things I'd like to see. I'd like to have seen him done a better job with the with the officiating department myself, disciplinary end of things. I honestly think that's where the game is taking a beating. Is the calls on the ice? They're ridiculous. There's no consistency, and if he's going to be this great commissioner, put your foot down and make some consistency happen. Put somebody in charge that can do the job, And it's my next thing is on, it's just all over the map, and the calls are just. I've never seen officiating so bad as I have seen it in the last 10 years, to be quite honest. And truthfully, I do think that the one team in Canada, the one province in Canada that should have had a hockey team is Hamilton. I really do.
Michael Rosenblatt say hi to Michael de Villano. So hey, Michael, I want to pass the feeling about that one over there. They talk a lot about him right now. And Michael Rosenblatt is amazing. I love Bill Zito. But Michael, what do you feel about the job of Bill Zito?
He's done a phenomenal job, Pierre. I mean, I don't think there's a better GM in hockey right now. And, if he's put himself in a position where a team that perennially was like up and down like a yo-yo is a powerhouse, and he's making those final finishing moves to try and win it. He had one of the elite coaches taken out as a piece off his chessboard, and they haven't really missed a beat. I mean, do I believe Andrew Brunette will get out coached in critical games? Potentially, yeah. But that team is super stacked. He's managed to fit it in all under the salary cap. And if they win a cup, it would not shock me.
I agree with you about that. And our top will Andrew with Montreal make any move from Jose Duarte?
Sell.
I don't think they're going to. Personally, I really don't think I think we've done what we're doing. Like I say, it's really going to be up to everybody else now. If you want somebody out of the Tabland, you're going to have to just really wow Hughes, because he's not looking to shop anybody right now. He likes the team. He'll deal with making more moves in the offseason. He's comfortable with that. So, truthfully, I don't see it. But, like I say, someone could come along and wow him.
Yeah, you might be right about that, Andrew, but I still think a lot of that is posturing, where he's saying, I don't need to move anybody because he's holding the cards right now. If he's out there saying, look, I'm trying to get rid of Lehkonen, what are you going to give me? Like, teams are going to lowball him, of course. I think that's only part of the strategy, and when you're negotiating. Will he make some trades? If he gets the right price for Lehkonen, I think he's gone. If somebody wants Armia, I think he's gone.
This is
if
the best
somebody
Lehkonen ever will be.
And who? Sorry.
This will be the best you will ever see of Lehkonen. He will never be better than
that's the truth.
Absolutely. That's why I think they should sell high.
Just
Yeah,
sell him.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Corey-
this is the best chance to get something big for him, right? Do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Corey Hill talked about Brady Kachuk for the Hart Trophy, but Michael Rosenblatt said who win the trophy, Hart, Huberdeau, Igor, Chesterkin, or Matthews? And then I bring this to you. McDavid also in the conversation, so we have their stat a little bit. Who, if you have a choice right now, who do you pick? Which one of you pick one? I would pick the last one.
I kind of think
Other?
Huberdeau.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, he's having a phenomenal year.
Hands down.
I love what Matthews is doing in terms of scoring, but that's that's the Rocket award, not so much the Hart. McDavid, it's a great year, but it's not one of his best. It's between, I think, Huberdeau and Chesterkin, depending how far Igor carries them.
I like Huberdeau to take that one, and I think Shesterkin could take the goaltending trophies. No doubt in my mind. Yeah.
Shesterkin's been great.
Phenomenal.
Good question.
Yeah.
Kelly asked in our top, said, my friend said the leave miss LINDHOLM. He's a great, or do you agree he's a great defenseman or not?
Well, that's the point I was making before. I think somebody like LINDHOLM would have served the purposes of Toronto better than Giordano. I'm not saying he's better than him, but I'm saying in terms of moving forward with the kind of contract he has, and you would have got him at a little bit, I think, cheaper price. I don't know. I think
whether he could go there or not.
I think they missed 3 defensemen myself, one after the other, that they should have went after instead of Giordano. That's my opinion. You know, I just think they could have got better results out of 3 other players.
I don't think everybody wants to go to Canada right now. I think Canada with the border thing is like a very big deal right now.
You're right,
but that's for free agency. You're right, Michael. But in terms of a trade, you don't have, unless you have a no trade clause in your contract, you're getting moved. I don't think.
I
What's
don't
his
think
name that wanted to come out east.
Michael Devillano, do you believe in Bobrovsky for the playoff?
I was thinking about that earlier. You know, like I don't think Spencer Knight has been the superstar we all expected to start, which is fine. He's very young. Bob's had a good year, I think, because someone pushed him. Does that carry over into the playoffs? I think they're just too good for it not to. But I mean, that could be an issue. I don't know. I was honestly thinking they would get another goalie. I mean, if Reimer went back to Florida, would you be surprised?
No, but I think Spencer Knight answered some question this week, but I don't know for the rest of this. But it will be interesting. Roger Bouchard, welcome aboard, and also Norm Bride, welcome aboard. What I would like to know is all the 3 of you is because just we talk about goaltender, everything like that. If Montreal get a call from someone about Jake Allen, what do you do?
You can't right now until Carey Price situation is solved. That's as simple as that. If you know something about Carey, that he is healthy, okay, make the move. But until you get that response, you just can't budge right now. Sorry, it's a bad situation.
Look, if it's a great offer, I say you take it. Like they're in a position where they can figure out other things over the summer. I get the whole Carey Price thing. There's an uncertainty around his returning or not, and even if he returns, what form is he in? But if they're going to make an outrageous offer for Allen, a team that's desperate right now, you have to entertain it.
Actually, I should be agreeing with you because I want him to tank next year, so I should be agreeing with you.
Well, if they're going to do it any year, I mean, you've got Connor Bedard sweepstakes.
That's who I want. Yeah.
You know, like he's such a phenomenal player. Mikheyev is going to be affected by the whole Russian factors, so that's going to be someone's going to get a steal on Mikheyev, but that's like getting Pavel Bure, right? So he's an elite player, and you know, ordinarily that would be your top two, right? That would be crazy.
So Michael, maybe I say go for it.
Maybe Michael can talk about this because he talked about Jack McBain. What talk about this about him? Jack McBain for the Boston NCA. And do you think the Wild would trade him? If yes, do you think he would go with Montreal?
Why am I not understanding who that is?
Jack McBain is the son of Andrew McBain, played for Boston College, 6'3".
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't know much about him. I have not seen him. His dad was an okay player sometimes.
Yeah, so maybe another tab. Do you think Montreal would trade for him, or
why would they trade for him? Is he that having a big
deal? They're entertaining it.
He has to sign up, Michael. He'll refuse to sign over there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's not bad. I mean, he is a centerman. I know that. He's got size.
I know this kid. He played at the Don Mills Flyers with,
which is quite good. He did well, I think.
Yeah, they were.
They're only asking a second round, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So are they projecting him like? Listen, this is NCAA. The guy's played 4 years. He's not young, so he's 22. He's going on 23. He's a 2000 birth year. He was a 3rd round pick. I don't know.
Blackhawks fan, he just came back for the game for the Chicago Blackhawks. Welcome back, Nick. Fortunately, your team lost, he said. About that one, but about this, I tried to catch up with everything. Someone they talk about now, Molson and everything like that. Coach, Toronto will be Zevlikav. Toronto would be a dog team out in the first round, not an underdog.
I'm not going to disagree.
Dream.
No, he's saying there'll be a dog team.
I think we answered to your question, Johnny.
They're gonna get through.
I think we answered to your question, Johnny, about Jack McBain to Arizona. They have to move Shannon Zuba before the window closes. I like the Abs vacation this year. Whiteman to Arizona.
I don't care who takes them, just take them.
If you're, that I don't think that's going to happen. They don't
give us a draft pick, sure.
I think he ends up on the waivers, and nobody touches him.
They're not going to trade one. No. They won't trade one draft pick for anybody. Arizona. They will be collecting more draft picks.
And I'm with you, Michael, on that other one with McBain. My only problem is I'd rather see it be a 3rd round for him.
Yeah, he was a 3rd round pick, so I don't know why you would pay more than that.
Yeah,
his numbers are padded, guys. He's a 22-year-old playing college. He should be in the AHL.
He should.
Elio talk about Samuel Montembeault touch the cup, but my point to you, so what do you do with Montembeault? What ammo will be ready in the next 2 weeks, and Carey Price coming very soon?
Montembeault seems to me to be a bust. I don't know.
Yeah, he's so inconsistent. He really is. If you want to put him on waivers, go for it. Or if anybody's calling, maybe you make the move, right? But it's one or the other. See what happens. I think he's better than Primo.
Some time in Laval, I think it would serve him well. I think he just needs an extra year of development at least. I mean, Montreal's had some games with him in net where he's looked very good. He's kept him in a lot of the games when Caden Primo did not produce at all. I don't think, in terms of a waiver pickup, I think he's worked out okay for Montreal.
Yeah.
Maybe one of you, maybe everybody can vote. I'm still upset I did not put Daniel Alfredson in Hall of Fame. That was included Maine. Do you believe Daniel Alfredson would be a Hall of Famer one day?
Yeah.
That's easy.
His eyes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey guys, you know what we didn't talk about? This trade blew my mind, and I still don't get it. Is Hagel to Tampa?
Yeah,
like I feel
that
like
was a good move.
we robbed this new GM. Like, why would you trade a 23-year-old that's on pace for getting his first 20-goal season? And all the guys, and actually I was reading before we jumped on, Taves, Kane, all these guys, like, we were shocked. The coach goes, I was shocked we traded him.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they did. In all fairness, they did get a huge haul for him. I mean, to get
what did they get?
He got next year's first round pick, 2024's first round pick. I mean, okay, Radish and Kachuk there is nothing, right? It's like your two fourths that went the other way. So basically, it was Hagel for 2 firsts, which
but none of those
for
first round
Tampa,
picks end up being...
for Tampa, I think it serves them well. Really great pickup. They have him under control, and they can extend him after 3 years. For Chicago, I think they're looking at rebuilding. I know he would have served well in the plans, but they're maybe thinking, okay, trade one, and I'm getting 2 first-round picks. Like,
but they don't always pan out.
Late, like they're not going to have a Hagel type player back.
Yeah, that's a good point because it's Tampa Bay's
just invested 5 years in this.
That's you know, Tampa's brain again. You know, again they always pull it off at the last minute. They pull off a smoothie too. So them in Florida is going to be interesting.
Mr. Andrew Nortap, what do you think of Corey Schueneman?
Love him. I think this is he's one of the better defensemen we're seeing so far on the team right now. Great.
And this guy had a rough road.
Never drafted. That's what gets me. Never drafted. Yeah. I mean, this guy's good.
Right.
He's so calm.
When he played, he played for Western Michigan, and that year it was like, remember Michael Wojciechowski, and they have a few players from that got play in NHL. He was like their 5th defenseman in Western Michigan, so he never get draft.
Well, if you know Western Michigan, that they're coached by Gary Davidson's best friend, which is Andy Murray. Yeah, and Andy Murray is a great coach. I mean, he's the other guy who was on that team, which is funny, is Lawton Courtnall. And it was one of I think it's Jeff's kid.
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be good stuff.
Yeah, but Schueneman, I definitely keep him in Montreal. He'd be a great, anywhere from 4 to 6. He fits in any one of those 3 positions for them. He's reliable. You don't worry that he's going to cough up the puck. He seems to see the game very well. I love his passing. He's bang on with passing all the time. Next time you see him play, just watch. His passes are never off the stick of the player. They're perfect passes.
But protection for me is really impressive for me.
The other thing that's great for me, I know he doesn't have a massively hard shot, but he's smart enough that he's getting it on the net, which Jeff Petrie could learn something about that. You know, it's between Jeff Petrie and Wyman, they can't get the puck on the net. You know?
Do you believe, Michael Devanok, the NHL should get rid of the salary cap?
No way. See, Luke had this comment before that parity is mediocrity, and I think it's the exact opposite. Like, every team right now is dealing with the constraint of the cap, and they all spend within probably $10, $12 of each other. And then when you see a team last year like Tampa that circumvent the cap because of injuries, and they legitimately did it, and there's just so much better than everybody because of it, that's what you would have every day. You would have ridiculous escalation in salary. And before the cap, like, it's, you know, they're smart and they have a hard cap. If you look at the NBA, they have a soft cap. And the problem with that is the big teams are like, fine, I'll take 100% or 50% penalty on this salary. They don't care. So then you have you've got 4 or 5 teams every year that are competing, and everybody else is an afterthought. It's like, are they still in the league? And you don't see that in the NHL. Any given night, even a team as bad as Arizona, you saw they had big wins the last 2-3 weeks. Like,
you'd never see a Canadian team win again if that wasn't in place. You know?
Yeah, I think it's done wonders for the league, and it's you know, I know fans like the fantasy element of hey, I want all the best players on one team, but that's what it prevents.
Yeah.
Exactly about that. I agree with you. Main Goal Hockey, welcome, and NP22, welcome. And I think we sent Phil Kessel somewhere earlier. Now we send him in Rangers, yes or no?
And Luke,
I
the
don't
luxury
deal with
tax,
the
what I was
Rangers.
just saying, like, the luxury tax is not as good as the hard cap for the NHL.
Right.
Yeah.
For Michael Rosenblatt, do you believe, he asked me, he believed that the Montreal make the playoff next year, yes or no?
Nope.
No.
No. One
Here
more
we go.
Nope. Nope.
What was
Luc
the question
Lafortune said
before?
Huberdeau.
What was the prior question? There was a question before.
We all avoided it. Phil Kessel.
Was it to the
Go back.
Rangers?
Yeah,
The last question was Corey Schoeneman.
It was Kessel. No, it was Kessel to the Rangers.
Kessel to the Rangers. It was Kessel to the Rangers. And none of us
I hope-
answered.
I hope
We
they don't
talked
do
about-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it. Can't see the Rangers being that dumb.
Can you see him going back to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that I could see.
Absolutely not.
Do you believe
You don't think
Do you believe Nazem Kadri for the Hart or on nomination, or someone could be on that name associated for the trophy?
Why not? Phenomenal year for him. He really,
Had a
this is a
great year.
career year for him after many frustrating years. And he had major injuries to McKinnon and Rantanen at some points, and they did not miss a beat.
If you are, because we talk about him, what do you think he's going to do? Stay with Colorado or he's going somewhere else?
He's on a very cheap contract. I don't know. He's in line to get paid, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not going to take a hometown discount.
no.
31 years old, right?
That's
Yeah.
why.
1990 birth year, so he's going to be at least 32 at some point.
Do you think at 5 years, $7 million is worth it?
That I could see that. He's a young 31,
Sounds like it's
32
the right ballpark.
Yeah.
I think he's going to ask for more than that. I'm not saying he's
You-
worth
I
it.
think
but
you're right.
He's going to
At
ask.
$7 million, I think you could do it, but more than that, I wouldn't be crazy about it.
So if you are him, or I just get, all right, he said, Colorado said, we give you $35 million, or he got an offer for 7 years, $9 million, so 6 years, $9 million, or maybe $45 to $55 million with the Flyers. What do you do?
Well, he's taking the money.
Are you asking us, or are you pretending we're Kadri?
Exactly. He's taking the money.
I would rather make less and be in with a team that is a perennial contender for the cup.
Well, that's my
I
question,
don't-
honestly. That's why.
He would take the money.
Yeah, he'd
He'll
take
take
the money.
the
He's
money.
not that
Oh,
type of guy.
absolutely.
He's not going to think about the cup. He's not one of those great players that
No,
are looking
I
at,
don't think that's
you know.
true, actually, Andrew. I think he wants to win more than anything, and he's always had a bit of a short fuse, and it comes out as a maturity issue. He can't control himself, and I think what he's done is finally kind of control himself. Can he do that long term? I don't know, because I mean, we've all watched him since he's 15, 16, and that hasn't been the case. Is he ever going to be a point a game player again like this year? I can't see that.
No,
No.
I can't.
Nor can I.
We sit on the people on sit in the heart. So some people tell me Huberdeau, some people just again, and some people don't like anymore Matthews. But it's on that. Michael, a question for all: what are your thoughts on Chariot trade and the Robert Hag trade with the Florida Panthers? What both of them bring to the team, and what are you, Michael DeVillano? Maybe can jump on it.
You guys can jump if you want, or I can.
Well, you can
start. You can start.
Yeah, I love Sherratt. I think that was a piece that a lot of teams wanted. He's a number 4 defenseman that's big, and he's not going to get you offense, but you're not getting in front of the net. And Hag is a guy that I was very surprised Philadelphia traded. He's still a young Swedish, big, excellent skating defenseman. So I think he still has a little bit of upside. He's never going to be a top 3, but he's a capable 4 as well.
And I'll tap
it was
Andrew.
It was absolutely a great Great move by Holcomb.
Super Chat.
Oh, we have to go there. We have a super chat, $4.99. Frank Zalazar, let's do it again. One more time. Here we go. Here we go. We have to do it. Reverse super chat. Super chat, Frank Zalazar, $4.99. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Appreciate that. We are not done talking about this. We have a question in the chat by Corey Hill. Nick Paul got trade to the Tampa for Matthew Joseph, 4th-round pick. Your impression? Let's start with Inota.
Well, was it a 4th and Matthew Joseph?
Yeah. 2024.
Yeah, it's you know what? It sounds about right. I think it's a fair trade both ways. I know Paul hasn't really statistically hasn't really done what they expected, but the capacity is still there for him. Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's fair for both.
I do too, and I think it just again shows, Tampa again, they know how to find these guys, these plug-in guys, and he's the perfect type of plug-in guy for this year. So
good size,
perfect
good
move.
Size.
Yeah,
I think Nick Paul would bring more to the Tampa compared to Matthew Joseph.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. That's what I was asking. Like, I'm like, is he that much? I think the difference between these two, I mean, I've watched both of them for quite a while, but they feel very, I don't know if there's a big, I guess that's why it's a 4th, right? Like, I don't think there's a big difference between Joseph and Paul. Paul has that ability to play on the 3rd line and play physical, and maybe that's the difference. And Joseph has that speed, and you always want more offense. And he might get a lot more offense in Ottawa because I think his ceiling is a lot higher than Nick Paul.
Right.
I
think that 4th is what helps that draft.
For me, it's this way.
Different.
For me, those players, Joseph fit better Ottawa and Nick Paul fit better in Tampa compared to Ottawa. For me, that's how I see that trade at that moment over there about that one.
So
Roger Bouchard.
Who has more career goals?
Of the two?
Yeah.
I believe it's Joseph.
It is. He's got 37 career goals versus 29.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I say, like, and they're roughly the same number of games.
Yeah.
Your comment makes a lot of sense, Pierre, which I think that Matthew Joseph might do really well in.
That high-flying offense? Yeah.
It would bring spring. I don't know he's like him, but I feel Michael, and I could be, not maybe, but for me, I see Matthew Joseph can become a Connor Brown.
Maybe better.
I think
he's not. Connor Brown is a two-way player, right? Like, Connor Brown is an effective centerman where on a weaker team, he can play second line, or he can be very effective and get you 18, 20 goals on the 3rd line, and he's a 200-foot player. Joseph has, like, nice soft hands, and he's very fast, and he's athletic looking. And you look at him and you go, God, this guy should be a 25, 30 goal scorer. And that's the difference.
Roger Bouchard asked us about, can the Habs move players after the trade deadline by any other method other by waiver?
Sure. Once a team is out, they could trade with them.
A question for Al. What did you guys think of the Toronto trade with Chicago that was rejected? It was Fleury, Matthew Nice, and I don't know if everybody knows about that one over there, but what do you think about this in our tap?
So what was the deal?
I don't know what was the deal that was rejected. What was the deal, Coach?
The deal for Toronto. Sorry?
Did Fleury reject it?
No, it was not Fleury. So Chicago sent Brandon Agel with someone else, with Fleury and someone else. Toronto was supposed to send a 1st-round pick, Matthew Nice, and another pick, one other players with that trade. And Toronto did not want to trade Matthew Nice in their 1st-round pick.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't trade Matthew.
Yeah.
So Matthew,
you don't want to give up that first round.
If you look at Toronto's organization, they don't have a lot in terms of prospects, and they have less than a handful. And start giving away Niles and Robertson, you're going very thin.
That's
Plus,
exactly
he's made
what
it clear he
Kelly
doesn't want
said.
to give up a first rounder.
Matthew Knees might be a real sleeper. Like I watched him when he played for the Arizona Bobcats, not the Bobcats. He played for the Phoenix Junior Coyotes, and it was like, whoa. I was like, who is this guy? And he just had that NHL hands. His skating stride is NHL. Like he's just that type of player, and he might end up being a real good pickup. I think you might
so.
regret at some point trading him. However, Fleury would be a missing piece for them. I might roll the dice.
Do you trade John Tavares for Patrick Kane?
What?
That doesn't. I don't know. I don't know how that helps.
Neither one is getting traded for each other. If Patrick Kane moves out of Chicago, you're going to get a truckload of assets back because Patrick Kane might have 6-8 years left at this level, like at this elite playing level. Like he has not missed a beat. You look at the last 5 years, Chicago has not sucked because of him.
Exactly.
Zev Lecal says Jack may be in potential a third line. About that one over there.
Or AHL.
The Toronto signed today a goaltender Aris Saderi for 1 year deal.
Yeah, we talked
He's
about
a veteran Swedish or Finnish guy. Was he in the KHL?
I think so.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
So they're all running for the border, man. Like they're all trying to get out. So
Radish for the Tampa Bay with Chicago tonight. He scored 1 goal and 1 assist.
wow.
It's a steal.
So what's funny about Taylor's brother Darren played on that crazy Toronto Marlies team with McDavid, Josh Hosang, Rowan McEwen, all those guys. He was like McDavid's winger on that team, I think, and Sam Bennett might have been on that team too, I think.
Yep. Roger Delaney said, any one of us, do you believe another blockbuster trade left? Whiteman is a nice guy who works so hard, so good with him. He gave all to the Abs. But do you expect a big trade blockbuster tomorrow?
Overall, you mean?
Not from the Habs.
Team?
I think there possibly is one big trade of the league, right?
Hey guys, did you see the trade from Johnny Golden?
No, what is it?
Scotty Wedgwood gets to play in the playoffs, maybe.
Traded goalies Wedgwood to Dallas for a 4th round. Wow! So that what that tells me is maybe Holtby's on the go. Why would they have Holtby and Ottinger and now Blackwood?
Wedgwood? Because the other 2 goalies are gone, right? Bishop's gone and Khudobin's gone.
I'm actually surprised that the Coyotes traded him.
You could get him back next year from nothing.
Like Velmelka is an excellent goalie. I like what I'm seeing this year. I just thought, with Wedgwood they formed a great one too.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
Pierre knows I love Scotty from back in the GTHL. Like he's a great kid and great family and great. I always thought at some point he'd get a chance, and he's another one of those guys. When you give him an opportunity, he might surprise you. It's not going to be a number one, but.
I mean, I agree with Adam. I could see Holtby maybe going to Vegas now.
Do you trade Cole Caulfield for Lafrenière first round pick?
And a first?
Yeah.
Why?
No. Exactly.
I think Cole Caulfield might be better than Lafrenière right now.
Yeah, right now.
Well, he is.
Might be the same player.
I was telling.
You know what surprises me is Washington has done nothing.
Oh, they will. I think they will.
Done nothing. Shocked.
Yeah.
They need help.
What would you do on D?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
D. I even think their goaltending is not the steadiest either.
Oh no, Samsonov's ridiculous.
What's that?
You don't love Samsonov?
No, I don't like Samsonov.
Really? I think they got two really
I was
good goalies.
specified that
Sorry.
we were thinking of going after him.
Well, Vanacek has not missed a beat. He's got a 918 saves percentage. Samsonov a little hurt this year. And then they still,
Yeah.
like Fucali had a nice little run there for a couple games. And they still got Copley in the minors. I think they're okay there. I kind of think, like, I'm looking at their D, and there's a massive
it's really
drop-off after John Carlson and Orlov.
Yeah, absolutely. After they're 1-2, that's it. It is a drop off. So
And of
that's
course,
one
if
area
you fix that, that might help the goaltending, you know?
For sure. For sure. They
Yeah.
have two, like, if Nick Jensen is your number 3 defenseman, he wasn't even able to be a number 5 in Detroit.
Exactly. But they
Adam,
need to do
Andrew, and our top, why everyone wants to trade Kulak? So my question with that part is, do you keep Kulak or you trade Kulak?
No, it's not that they want to trade him. I think that the interest in Kulak has really increased over the last week, I'd say, and I think, you know, for some teams he'd be a great, like I said, number 4, 5, 6 kind of defenseman. He doesn't make stupid mistakes out there. He plays a physical game too. He skates well. That's the only reason. I don't think Montreal's looking to push him out by any stretch.
Welcome, Mr. Taylor, and good night, Mr. Nicolas. So you never know who's coming. That Luc Lafontaine said, "What about a luxury tax, Michael Devillano?"
No, we talked about that. Like, this is what I'm saying. Let's compare the NHL to the NBA. And the NBA is a collection of a handful of teams that compete every year, and then a bunch of guys that will never, ever compete at all. And when they go head-to-head, there's a big blowout. And the NHL has true parity in that you don't have all the best players able to gang up on one team because they can't do it with the hard cap. It's allowed small market teams to be very competitive. Like Florida would never compete for the Stanley Cup. Like, they just don't have the revenue unless someone just dipped in their pocket. It's not like Tampa is the biggest market in the NHL. So I think it would just all a luxury tax would do is create more problems. You would have Toronto spending. Toronto could have $120 million payroll and everybody else could fight it out for 80. And at 80, a lot of teams are break even. And the only reason that they're able to, and that, when I say a lot of teams, there's 10 or 12 teams in the NHL that would be the exception to that. If you go over 80, they're losing money.
Yeah.
And I think the TV contract that is part of the cap system where they share revenue, for a lot of teams, that is $25 to $30 million a year of their revenue that keeps them either break even or profitable.
With the new one, there's so much more.
Is it more than that?
Yeah, because now they got the TNT and the ESPN for $7 billion for both together.
We'd have to look at the Forbes numbers, because if that's the case, the salary cap will go up, like by quite a bit.
1 year for the next 3 years, 4.8 the year number 4, or 5.8.
See, I think the reality is, like, under the current system, you have that kind of a bump in mutual revenue, then the salary cap goes up, so the players benefit automatically. And so I think that the system right now is, I don't see any reason to blow that up. You would just be ushering in what you see in baseball, and more like the closer analogy is the NBA. They have similar fan base. They play in the same arenas. And I think it's just, you would have a lot of teams you don't want to watch.
And the right fielder for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Blue Jays, back in the house, Vincent Colangelo. Welcome back, Mr. Vincent. Is the right fielder, number 4. Will Kadri walk for more money? I think Mr. Notat, he said no. Yeah. And then Michael said yes.
I said yes.
Oh, you said yes?
Yes, yeah.
Roger Delaney said, do you believe now with Price and Allen between the pipe, the Montreal make the playoff or not next year?
No.
They underestimated the value of Dano. Why do you think Los Angeles is in the playoffs and Montreal's not? Like
Wow,
you've
that's
got
not-
Dano. All they had to do is pay that guy $5 million. He was their franchise player, whether they like it or not. He was their
I
mini
think
version.
there was more leaders though. If there was too many
Remember?
leaders gone at once, like I mean,
I-
Corey Perry, there was no reason for us not to hang on to him for an extra year. Why not? And then, of course, Weber gone. I mean, really, there's too many leaders at once.
I agree,
mean-
Michael, but I don't think they wanted to stay in Montreal. I think that was the key.
No, he didn't. Not after it leaked. That Bergevin kind of got him ticked off.
Yeah, that was like their own fault, right? But what's
Right,
funny
yeah.
is Bergevin's in LA with him now.
Right.
It's a it's completely a misevaluation players, I think, for me.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Weber missed a lot in the defenseman. And I was looking this weekend. You know what Edmondson bring? Physicality this weekend.
Yeah.
And he is hard in the corner. That's what we don't have with Weber right now. And when you have Whiteman, it does not work. So I don't say that Edmondson is great defenseman, but you can see a change on the defensive side, how we recover the puck, how we feel better for the breakout, because Edmondson bring that kind of physicality where we don't have on the right side without Weber. But again, Dano makes some damage for Nick Suzuki. And that's the problem there, because Dano would take care about all the mission on the defensive side, on the face-off, cover Kopitar, cover that McDavid, cover. Now it's the job as Suzuki, and he cannot handle that moment. So I believe for the reason what he said, I think Dano missed in Montreal Canadiens, not only on the center, but overall, is a big piece of the puzzle we don't have anymore. And we're going to suffer.
And
because
he's
of
also
that.
he's allowed, like in LA, he's not playing on the first line center.
Exactly.
And what has happened is it's allowed Kopitar also to open up a little bit more. He doesn't have to play that stingy defensive style, which kind of cut down on his offensive prowess.
Yeah.
Do you
He's
think?
actually- his
do you
numbers are
think
actually down over last year.
Do you think Varlamov if Fleury is on the market tomorrow to get traded? Do you believe Fleury Varlamov will be traded tomorrow?
I don't know.
I
think
don't
so.
see
Hope so.
Fleury going. I think he's staying in Chicago. Varlamov, not really sure.
I have a
God,
sneaky
go to
suspicion
Edmonton.
he
Somebody
will
go to
go
Edmonton.
Fleury. I think
Yeah,
he will.
Edmonton. He doesn't want to go to Edmonton though, Fleury. So he doesn't want to go to a Canadian team.
What about
No,
Varley?
maybe not.
Varlamov, there's not much been said. So Varlamov's really your only, shot other than, pretty much.
I wonder about. I mean,
The Seattle Kraken trade Jérémy Lauzon to the Nashville Predator. So that's the rumor about, that's a confirmed by Pierre Lebrun. So that's just let you know about that one over there. Nashville got Jérémy Lauzon, number 55 for I don't know what he got in return about that one over there. Vincent want to know very quickly, yes or no, Leaf getting Giordano, good or bad?
thumbs up, baby.
It's good. It's
Great.
good.
It's going to help them, no doubt about
Yeah.
it. I just don't think it's going to put them over the top. And they needed that really super gritty type of defenseman, and
Yeah.
it doesn't give them that.
Steve G said is a fan for the Colorado. Welcome back, Steve. He said he don't expect Kadri won't be with Colorado next year.
I don't think he will be either.
I think it's gonna be real tough.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Farrell Magus. Kadri weakness is between his ear come playoff time. About that one over there. Would be interesting how he's going to do this year about that one over there.
60 suspension.
Yeah.
By the way,
69.
Coach, just going back to the Ottawa trade, Pierre LeBrun just put out that the Senators also retained 44.5% of Nick Paul's cap hit.
Oh, wow. That's because he become a UFA.
Man,
He's not-
Tampa does it all
Is he
the time,
making
don't
$1
they?
million a year or something? Can't be making that much money.
Michael, David, I know maybe you can get that one over there. Why the NHL team by KHL star Vadim Chipachev? Did he come to Vegas?
He did. Yeah. He lasted one game in Vegas. I think he scored, but he can't, he doesn't fit in a North American team. I don't know. It's just not a good fit for North America. He's just one of those guys. It's just like, sometimes there's these Russian guys that play a style that's suited to the big ice, and he doesn't really fit into a team system, and he bucks it, and it doesn't work. I don't think it would work on the small ice. And besides, there's no more coming to the NHL.
From Jose Duarte, Matthew Nice at 1 point per game. Roland is another big fan of the Vancouver Canucks. At that moment, I'm watching the game 1-0 Buffalo Sabre over Canucks at the end of the 20 minutes of the game. My question to you is this part. Is Vancouver lost tonight?
Yeah.
What do you do tomorrow? Are they trade, or they continue to be thinking about playoff, or they completely open up now, maybe trade Connor, Garland, consider to open up for more trade? Or
well, Connor Garland's been bantered. His name's been bantered around quite a bit. I think they just realized with the last 2 losses that they suffered that this is not going to be a playoff year for them.
Right.
So if they can shed some of their salary, and maybe, I mean, not anything major, but I could see maybe a player or 2 moving.
I agree.
So you don't think JT Miller will go, or Besser, or Garland for that matter?
Maybe, yeah, Garland. I can see maybe Besser.
Garland, I can see.
I don't see Miller.
Tanner Pearson. I mean, they could surprise us and move a lot of pieces. I think
They
Connor
could.
Garland, the word that I got like last week was he's a weird guy and doesn't fit in. But
Yeah,
that might be
exactly.
I think that's kind of
I
the
think
word
he-
on him, which is
Yeah.
he's got talent. He can play. And then, JT Miller is unrestricted, right?
Yes.
not yet. One more year.
Oh,
What an
more year?
awesome player.
Oh, is it one more?
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him go if I was him.
He's proven to be a really good leader and big time numbers this year. Tanner Pearson, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Besser, I don't know what it is about Besser. They don't seem to love Besser.
The Coyotes trade Wedgwood for the Dallas, but it's not the point here. My point is, Adam said Obi would be good for Vegas. Do you think Obi now is going to be? He's ready to play now. He was in a healthy scratch tonight, but he could be behind the bench. But I think he was more precaution. Do you think he'll be trade tomorrow? If yes, which team get Obi tomorrow?
Edmonton. Edmonton.
You're really
Hey,
welcome.
that's,
You're
I think
really
they're-
walking at it.
I think he'll be
Junk really
traded.
for another
I think
junk
he will
goalie. I
be
don't know.
traded. Otherwise,
Yeah, I
this trade to me doesn't make sense. They'd have 3 goalies. I know Hopi is done at the end of the year anyways, but you might as well get something for him and not just lose him for nothing. Part of that trade was also made because they are in the process of extending Carol Vejmelka's contract for a long. I think it's either a 6 or 7 year contract that he's looking at. So I can see why that happened now. But yeah, there's a couple teams that, I mean, let's not forget Minnesota in this equation, right? I could see Minnesota making
Big time.
a move for him.
Roger Bouchard asks you, where does Rand Pitlick fit on the abs? This Rand is the one from the University NCA, not the Ram, and it's not Tyler.
Oh.
It's kind of hard to say when we haven't seen what he can do on the ice. So
No, it's
You
not
know,
him. Rand Pitlick is a guy play NCA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
that's what we're saying, though. We haven't seen him play, so we can't really say.
But right now he did not sign yet, so he had to sign contract. He start his 2nd year in the NCAA for Rand Pitlick. I think he have to wait a little bit longer, but it's a little bit long term for him, of course. But I think he will sign when he'll be released from the NCAA. I think he'll return 1 more year next season, but Montreal is going to sign him about that. Renaud said, will Dvorak ever become a 200th players or just his bumper power play guy?
Like Christian Dvorak? Who
Yeah.
are we talking about?
I think Dvorak, unfortunately, has suffered the repercussions of coming to the Habs. When you seen him play in Arizona, he had a pretty good 200-foot game. So I think we got to give him another year just to see if, with all the injuries we had, maybe that was the, and of course Deschamps' system, so-called system, whatever you want to call that, between the two combinations. Let's give him a chance and see what he can do from here on in under St. Louis, and maybe with a healthy season ahead of him.
We have a question for Frank Salazar. Go ahead.
Coach, sorry to interrupt, guys. Just hearing from Frank Saravelli that the Coyotes are acquiring prospect Jack McBain from the Wild in exchange for a 2022 second-round pick.
What?
Yep. Here we go.
So the value was right. We all thought.
So, you know, Mike, you were right. It sounds like Hughes was too smart to make that deal.
Yeah, possible about that one over there.
Yeah.
Frank Salazar see Jake DeBrusk going to Washington or Pittsburgh. My question to you would be, do you believe they will stay until the end of the season now? And then after that, got trades in the summer? Jake DeBrusk.
I think he's dealt. I think he's going to be dealt tomorrow.
Really?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
He scored like 4 or 5 goals the last couple of games.
Yeah,
he's part of the really the offensive. I don't see this right now. Now maybe see him during the trade summertime. I don't see him trade on the East Conference. If he's moving, I'll be more like on the Edmonton or Vancouver or something like that.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
But I think it's going to be the off season. I honestly think they're going to hold on to him because he's been coming through for them. It's been working. So I think Boston's kind of going to drag it right out till the off season.
Now, depend whether you get a return in our top, of course. But right now, I don't see this moving at that moment.
Being the trade deadline, I think they'll get more for him now than they will in the off season.
I don't think anybody's willing to pay the price.
Boston's at a bit of a disadvantage because the management knows that DeBrusk has requested a trade and he wants out of Boston. So that right away, like right now, he's at a high value. If you get the opportunity, like you said, Coach, and they offer you the right package, you do it now. In my eyes, anyways.
Oh yeah, you do it. I agree with you there. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Ricky, we saw that.
Welcome, Mr. Rick Smith, Bruno Meta Versa, quelqu'un speak in French anymore, and Rodney Redcliffe. Welcome all of you. At the same time, I don't know, someone play music behind me.
I thought it was a late breaking news.
You're gonna get stabbed.
If you are the coach for Ottawa, where do you put Mathieu Joseph on the lineup? First line, second line, third line?
Are you playing him on the wing or center?
I think it would be winger.
Yeah, I think third.
I don't.
Maybe
see, I think
second. Maybe.
I think you put him on the second because I think his potential is like Nick Paul. I think would cap out, and that's why I say that the ceiling for Joseph I feel is higher, and either this is going to work or it's not. And if they put him in a position to play either second line wing or third line center, I don't think for him is going to be.
But the problem right now, we have to be careful. So Drew Batterson's not there. So Colin White play first line right now with Tkachuk in Norris. So maybe they will use him, Joseph, at the first line right now. But once Patterson show up, now he can drop him second line. But again, you have Tim Suzzle now with Connor Brown on that line.
Norris.
Nick Paul was shopping between second and third line at some point. Now they use Frementon over there. I will use Mathieu Joseph before Alex Frementon. I will put White, CMA, and Frementon together on the third line, and then the rest of the four line. Watson, everybody else.
You got to give Corey Hill a little bit of credit on Alex Formenton because I did not see what he saw, and he's had a good year.
Oh no, I not say that, but I think he will fit better for me.
No, I agree.
Third line, and then Mathieu Joseph second line.
Like right now, you've got Norris, Stützle, and Tierney as 1, 2, 3, and Connor Brown's playing on the wing on the second line, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
so,
which is
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
the third,
I think
second and third.
Second line.
Ideally, you want him on the second and him being what he can be. And if not, then you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Maybe Michael, you can answer that one over there. Maybe the best of the four here can find him. Isaac Radcliffe play with Zuski. Do you think Montreal could take advantage of this to play with Nick Zuski?
I don't think Isaac has developed the way people hoped he would. He's a big guy that had a reputation as being a big goal scorer, and his skating is really holding him back. I don't know. I don't think that'll help him. I don't think that's his problem. He struggles in the AHL.
Why does no one talk about gambling revenues is $1 billion?
Well, what do you mean?
I don't know about that one. I think right now, isn't it NHL signing a contract, like a sponsorship with Sport Book, while they are coming very soon about that one over there?
Yeah, I heard something on that.
It's coming up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe Montreal trade Montembeault or Primo tomorrow, or they will wait on during the summer?
I don't
Primo's
see
not
it.
going anywhere.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to happen, but I do think it's time to start thinking about letting Primo walk. He's not going to make it.
Primo's young still, though, isn't he? How old is Primo?
Yeah.
22 or 3 now.
24, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
that?
23.
Wow. That went fast.
And Farrell said, behalf of all the Kings fans, we said thank you so much for that. No, about that one there. Luc said that Bergeron mistake, he took it personnel. And he want to watch. Jeremy never met a puck. He did not want to watch Lauzon. About that one. Taylor said 1 hour is 6 minutes left for trade. No, Taylor. It's only tomorrow at 3:00 p.m. Eastern time, so we still have a little bit more. We're going to be live until 3 tomorrow. Just kidding.
Do you think they'll move Jeff Petrie?
I'm sorry again?
I think in the off season they will.
Yeah.
God, now would be perfect to go somewhere.
I'd love to see him gone. Love to see it. I just
Yeah,
think it's going to
yeah.
be too hard to get rid of that contract.
Yeah,
Is he
too
6
big of a
mil?
contract.
He's 6'5".
Yeah, that's
That's a
So
lot
the
of cash
trade
for him.
will be done at AM. I guess Nashville think they are capable to fix in Lauzon. Who knows? Maybe they can. What about this man, Michael? Because when he got drafted, he was draft high, Lauzon. Went to Boston, but he never reached his potential in Boston. I don't know because the ladder of the defensemen over there, like Tony Crook and then McEnvoy, everybody there. But why you feel that he never reached that kind of players, Lauzon?
I never thought he was going to be offensive. Did you?
For a second round pick, wow, that's a lot.
Listen. I think Lausanne is a capable 5'6" defenseman.
Yeah,
He's-
okay, I agree with you. I agree with you, but not like pay a second round pick for him.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit
who did he get
much.
traded to again?
Nashville.
Nashville.
I don't know. I don't think that's you think about like a second round pick for them.
Vancouver score, by the way.
What
Yeah,
when is
you
that
know-
player
you
going to
know who
play for
scored?
Nashville?
Exactly.
And then
Look
if you
at who
look
scored.
who scored?
JT Miller.
Now, of course.
He's had such a great year.
Oh, that guy's
What's he up?
phenomenal.
Is he up to? I think he's 25, 26 goals now.
Yeah, he's got like 72 points or something.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Do you believe the Buffalo Sabre trade Greg Anderson?
I kind of
Maybe.
think that might help somebody.
Yeah.
If somebody's interested in him, yeah.
Look like for
just,
bad timing for the
that-
Verac. I agree with him about that. Taylor said, oh, sorry, I'm 24 hours still. No, finish at 3 o'clock. Good night, gotta go. Good answer. My last question, I think we did. And we apologize, we did not about that. Kraken got a 2022 second rounder for Lauzon, bringing them to the 4th second round pick next season. He picked it up there. That's what Michael said a month ago, one before. Now Buffalo just scored, by the way, 2-1. Bruce Boudreau is not very happy right now. But yes, Joel Skinner just scored, by the way. Um,
He can score without Eichel.
Michael, we said
he
earlier,
quite
like,
well.
like the way I was told my question, Michael said, you said that's the way Ron Francis built, like with draft pick waiting. He's not going to sign a big contract right away. It was not start right away to try to win.
Yeah, it's a mistake because he'll never get out of that tailspin. I don't see. I think this was the issue in Carolina, and the owner correctly assessed it, and he brought in Rick Dudley and the guy from Atlanta with him. What was the other guy's name? The current GM. And they said they put the missing pieces in because the foundation was brought in and they just could never make the playoffs.
Waddell,
I think that's
isn't
Seattle's going to be the same garbage because they had, think about it. Seattle, if they had Tarasenko and Johansson, maybe they're closer to fighting for a wild card. I mean, both guys have had great years. Vince Dunn is anybody that watched Vince Dunn knows he's going to give up as much as he gets.
Yeah.
We have a review call, by the way. Offside
Oh, by
possible.
the way, they should trade one of those goalies because I think both those goalies are undervalued assets right now. Like somebody, if they're smart, grabs one of them.
Kelly should dream about Kevin Fiala and on top. Do you think the Leaf can have Kevin Fiala?
No, not by tomorrow. No.
No.
I'm also just hearing Mason Appleton back to Winnipeg from Seattle in exchange for a mid-round pick.
Oh my God! What?
What you said
I
again?
don't get Mason
what
Appleton
is going
back
on
to
in Seattle,
Winnipeg from Seattle in exchange for a mid-round pick. So you were just talking about that, Michael, about the picks.
Wow.
I
He's
don't get it.
determined to go that route.
I know Luke is laughing at Rick Dudley. Rick Dudley is one of the best assessors of talent in the NHL.
Yeah.
If you look at his draft history, he really understands how to. First of all, he's developed some excellent scouts, which I know people don't see that, but he's also like the picks that he's made have been really shrewd, and he's got a lot of like fingerprint over when Montreal had success. And he's got a lot of fingerprint on Florida, and he's got a lot of fingerprint on Carolina.
I've heard a lot of good on him. Yeah, no doubt about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
His course is 25th of the season, look like from people. Do you think they bring back Mason Appleton because they believe maybe Coop leave tomorrow, or they miss Mason Appleton?
They miss
Cop.
Mason.
Yeah, I think Cop has to go because he's an RFA, so you want to get something for him. And I could see him fitting in a couple teams, right?
I don't know. That line with like it's Lowry, him, and Kopp was like pretty damn effective.
Oh yeah, Andrew Kopp, like Lowry and Appleton was a great third line over there.
Yeah, that was like really really hard to play against, and they would counterpunch and get some offense and shut your guys down, and they're mean. Like
he's the type of guy. He's the type of guy that almost fits in anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, they still. They go to decide right now. It took them about 5 minutes to figure out for the blue line. But Roger said, can Petrie renegotiate his contract with a trade them to get out of Montreal?
Nope.
I
cannot
see it.
Luc Laforson, with that question, said, do you think the Montreal should buy out or not Petrie?
No.
Nope.
Why would they?
He's fine as number 2-3, guys. Like he's an excellent number 2.
We have a goal. Wow. Sorry.
That's right. I'm just saying, like, if you had Jeff Petrie right now as a $4 million or a $5 million defenseman, or they retained any salary, a lot of teams would jump at Jeff Petrie. He's a right shot defenseman. He can run a second power play, but you don't want him top pairing minutes. As a second pairing, he's excellent.
The problem is he wants out of Montreal. Actually, let me rephrase that. His wife wants out of Montreal. And
I wonder
even
why.
though initially he wanted out as well because he really didn't get along with
Ducharme.
Ducharme, thank you. But he's had a change of mind. Like he really enjoys Martin St. Louis and what he's done for the team. But his wife still wants out. So this will be done, but it'll be done in the off season.
Yeah,
do you believe
there. And
Do you believe
He's gonna want-
the first for Dvorak was a bad trade?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they gave up too much for Dvorak. I really do. I think it was a little
like, at the
steep.
time, I didn't think so, though.
They knew we were
I don't-
desperate, though. You know what I mean? They knew we were desperate for a center.
Because of Dano?
But Dvorak hasn't been given a fair chance either. Like he's
No,
been
I
injured most
agree
of
with
the
that. I
season.
still think his price tag was a little high.
Well,
You know,
Yeah,
for
Luke
the
had
nice
a
thing
great-
about him is he had a controllable contract, I think, for 3 years at if I'm not mistaken, around 4.5 or something. And you know, he's handled, you know, number 1 and 2 center lines. So, you know, at the time it seemed like a great fit. You'd put him with somebody like Hoffman, and the two would.
There's your
would
first
produce.
mistake.
Yeah.
Well,
Now Hoffman,
that's
on the other
a
hand,
hole, right?
I'd be looking to get rid of Hoffman,
Yep.
but not Dvorak.
Yeah.
Dvorak, I would like to give him 1 more year.
Give him some half decent wingers. That's what I say, right?
Yeah.
You know, somebody that will actually play. Yeah.
Do you think Toronto will trade Nick Robinson tomorrow?
Maybe.
It's possible.
It is possible.
Depends what they get, right? Especially if it's a goaltender, they might just do it.
Yeah. Kraken, I think, right from the expansion draft, didn't do they did just enough to be bad.
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
another opportunity there. There were other players available they could have reasonably afforded and taken a chance on that end up having great years. Well, Ryan Donato was, you know, that was a productive pickup for nothing. But he's not like, you know, a game-changing player.
No.
Stratic, he said that they trade a lot of RFA, like low zone, and he does not understand about
Yeah,
that one
makes
over there.
sense. Makes sense.
No, actually, it doesn't make sense. His point makes sense, which is they're restricted. You own their rights. Like, why are you dumping these
Right.
guys?
The
You're
UFAs,
gutting-
they should have.
already gutted.
Oh,
It's like,
sorry.
why are we
Did he say RFA or
Right?
UFA?
Yeah. RFA.
Yeah,
Oh,
why
okay,
would you
yeah,
get rid
yeah,
of the
yeah.
restricted? Exactly, I
Sorry.
agree. Why?
I misunderstood that. Yeah.
Luc
No,
Laforcine
yeah.
said the Petrie White went out of Edmonton also.
Well, again, this is what I'm saying. Like, he's an American player and he's played in 2 Canadian markets. That his wife wants to go to a U.S. market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Kelly asked you guys, will the league go for Middleton?
Maybe.
It's possible. That would be a good
I
pickup
think they
for
got
them.
That'd be a good move.
Think it-
That'd be a good move.
I think
got a
they go
little
more
grit.
for Justin Brown
It's the same.
From
What's the difference?
Philadelphia.
for the Flyers.
Yeah.
Oh, Justin Braun.
Yeah.
Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They
That
were
would be a
at need
better
time, just bad timing went off.
I agree, Luke.
Francois, he said, I don't understand what the Cracker are doing right now.
They're practicing.
And then looked like we did not read perfectly Kelly question about Fiala. All right. So the question of Kelly is said, do the league have room for Fiala?
They have room for everybody, guys.
Not unless they get rid of some big bucks. They don't have room for him.
All right.
They're gonna figure it out.
So we're going to finish this with we do a French quiz. But before we get there, guys, I have a couple of things. I just finished all the question. I think so. That unit is not done. I have a feeling. Kelly said. So my question, I'm going to show a logo of the NHL and tell me if you think they're going to make a trade or not tomorrow morning before the end of this Monday trade deadline. Carolina Hurricane. If they make a trade, yes. If you think what they're looking for, something like that, that'd be great if you can go from that one over there.
I say yes, and possibly secondary scoring.
Yeah.
I was thinking third line winger, left winger to upgrade the spot with Steve Lorenz is in.
I think
I
that
think a Lekanen type, right?
Yeah.
I think Michael, when you said earlier, like I think they should increase a little bit more for like over like Steve Lawrence, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
Leader writer,
do you feel like Clutterbuck it could be a good fit over there?
Clutterbuck would be a fit anywhere, but yeah, that would be a
Yeah.
really good fit for them.
And not done Oilers.
I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know.
I think so. I think they'll make
Sell
it-
your
think
soul for a goalie.
No, I think they'll
three
be
assets
okay.
right now that are really interesting, right? They've got Broberg, they've got Borgo, and then they got Dylan Holloway. So either they say, listen, we're not going to make any moves. One of these guys will come up, or two of these. Broberg, I think, is already up. He's kind of bounced back a little bit. And then Borgo is going to finish up in the queue, and he looks like he could play in the NHL right now. And then you've got Dylan Holloway, who started out injured. So you go, well, maybe I'm not so worried. I'll just be patient and wait back for Puya Harvey. But what is not on this guy's brain, which blows my mind away, is a goalie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
And I don't think they're going to move for a goalie. I really don't.
They're not.
They
I
won't.
don't think they're going to. I think they need to, but I don't think they're going to.
That's why, Michael, you said that they're going to get back Peter Marechek.
That's
Well,
I still
unless they
think
pick
if,
him up.
I don't think
If
that's going to
they-
happen, Pierre, because he had such bad blood with Ken Holland. They moved him out of Detroit over him calling and saying, "Hey, you said you were going to move Jimmy Howard. What's going on?" And
Right.
they went back to Howard for 10 years. And so that's I don't think that ever will be forgiven. Like I
Good
can't
point.
see that working.
Point.
Possible about that one. Next one. I know they just make a trade, but do you expect more tomorrow?
yeah, I think they're going to get rid of Volpe.
At least one more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, Jimmy Howard wasted the last years of. I think the Kings go and they get another defenseman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statistics at Kraken getting so many pick and no prospect back could create a bit of development, a log jam.
Absolutely.
And Kelly
Definitely.
said Marechek is an amazing, great goaltender. And so we'll see what's happening about that one over there.
I disagree with the comment that he's junk. I think that he's junk in
It's
Toronto.
not junk. Yeah, right. Right.
He, in the right circumstance, he can be really useful. He can steal games, but he's one of those guys where he's a little too athletic and not technical, and he gets himself into trouble. And you've already got this freewheeling pond hockey nonsense in Toronto, and it's gonna. I was like, that's a bad fit for him.
Do you expect Los Angeles King move?
Oh, yeah.
Defenseman.
They're going to make a move, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
defense.
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit earlier, but what do you think about Nashville?
So Kelly, I
well,
think that Anderson I think that the deal with Anderson was really because of Campbell, and I thought they should have brought back Anderson, and that's proving.
So do I.
You see how good like Anderson and Ranta and Carolina is fine, and so was Mrazek,
Yeah.
and what's the other goalie was there? Not Grubauer.
Is it not Bernier? No, he was.
Bernier
Who's the other goalie?
for where?
Was it in Carolina last year?
It was Mrazek. Wasn't Mrazek there last year?
Yeah, but who was with Mrazek?
Yeah, who was with him
Where?
in
It
Carolina?
was, Carolina. It was Mrazek and
Oh, no, Nedeljkovic.
That's it.
No, COVID.
Yeah.
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 So I mean,
That's it.
you're seeing a much better defensive team that he was very capable. But
And Reimer
they
was there
definitely-
also.
Oh, Ryan.
I would have held on to
But
Anderson if I had been the least, so.
Freddie Anderson and Angelo, like Tony DeAngelo, those were like absolute thefts by Carolina. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
team that is so great. On
Do you
those-
think the
By the
Rangers move tomorrow?
Yep.
yeah. Oh, they'll be busy tomorrow.
Most definitely. Yeah.
What do you
And
think they're gonna
Statistics
do
said
now?
something funny here. And who said this at the beginning of the season? Kaskinen have more W at Connor Hellebuck.
Well, that just shows you if they had a real goalie in Edmonton, they would be a Stanley Cup contender because he is
Yeah,
so erratic.
He
Yeah.
is, but you know what? In all fairness, and if you do look up his numbers, Michael, you'll see as a number 2, he is a solid goalie. Like I think he has a very good save percentage. Like he's around 915, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he that high? He's never been that high, is he?
I think he might be. I could be wrong, but he would make an awesome number 2.
He's at .904 right now, 3.04.
3.04. Like
How much?
3.04 a game is not going to win you shit.
No.
Yeah. How much is he?
Be a
Sorry?
playoff team with that. His
What's his
save
save
percentage is
percentage? He's definitely a
It-
backup, that's for sure.
Yeah, like last year his save percentage was .899, and this year it's 904. And he's 317
right.
goals against average last year and 304 this year. He's what he is.
But keep in mind that he's been forced this year. He's been forced into a number
And
1
last year.
position, and he's not a
And
number
last-
1.
Right.
And just
What's weird?
I looked this up.
What's-
Just going back to Seattle, they've accumulated in the next 3 drafts 30 picks.
Wow.
They have 3 firsts, 7 seconds, 5 thirds, 5 fourths, 3 fifths, 3 sixths, and 4 sevenths.
That's Seattle?
That's Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they haven't
Crazy.
dealt a single draft pick away.
But they only have 1 first-round pick. The real one is Arizona, which shocked me that they traded a second-round pick because they still have 4 second-round picks next year and 3 firsts. They might have 4
Right.
firsts now. Let's
Yeah.
unlook
Maybe.
that. Let's look them up.
I think they're better off than Arizona.
Well, Arizona is, I don't know how great this upcoming draft will be. I'm kind of 50-50. It's so hard because they kind of lost like a year of development, a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
So we're
that's
going to have a
right.
little weird, trying to assess who's who. It's
That's
been
what I
really
was
tricky.
saying. I was saying that in an earlier show that I wasn't that keen on this draft compared to next year's. It's a lot
it's a
stronger
little
next year.
So yeah, Arizona has 3 first-round picks, and they still have 1, 2, 3, 4. They still have 5 second-round picks. I wonder if that includes the pick today, because they traded for that kid, right, McBain.
Yeah. And they
Do
got
you
a-
think the New York Rangers want to trade tomorrow?
Yes, for sure they will. They
Most
will
definitely. Most definitely.
put money on it.
We talked about the brass earlier. We said he would not move. I think we said he's not going to move until the off season.
Right.
Do you believe GVR get moved tomorrow?
To who?
It's possible. It's possible.
I don't think
He's got
so.
$7 million. He's got a $7 million cap hit.
Ooh. Yeah.
I said for a
well,
couple of years.
He's not moving.
Farrell, he said hopefully the scouting department is pretty good over there. And Seattle, that will helping about that.
There's already been some turnover.
And
So I
Patrick
don't know what's going on there.
Patrick Spinoza, Montreal Canadiens select Louis Leblanc. 18th overall pick.
Listen, Louis LeBlanc's girlfriend says he should have been in the NHL. It was not his fault.
That's right.
Johnny Goldin said, pas brave, Martin Lapointe, Serge Boisvert had a QM between Halifax, Drummondville. Any idea who they was scouting? Honestly, on my book, no. I'll be honest with you, I have no clue because they don't have anybody on the top 15, 20 over there. So you have to look about a little bit later. And I don't think Montreal have any prospect for both teams at that moment. But I think Drummondville have 1 or 2 good players. Now, sometime when they go there, they're looking for an opponent team, have a prospect over there, and they can maybe looking for a trade a little bit later. That's one thing I can tell you about that, Johnny, about that. And the last 2 teams, what about them?
Which
Pittsburgh
one?
might.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
I think
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
I
will.
think-
Yeah.
I could
I
see
don't
it.
know how this team friggin' wins. I cannot
Me
figure
neither.
out.
Me
Like
neither.
on paper, they have one defenseman.
I know.
Like, how the hell does this team win?
They always resurrect, and I don't know how they do it.
Always.
His name is Travis Jarry.
Well, but
Well,
then,
that's-
you think last year, like, Tristan, I think Tristan's real good, obviously. Like, I've always had, Pierre knows I've always
He
liked
is.
him. And I'm glad he's having success. But even he's not, like, I don't see how any goalie can be good enough to overcome a defense on paper that looks that bad. But they play well. They're all quick. They get guys that don't give up and don't quit every shift. And I think that's the key, maybe. I don't know.
And it's
Dylan
the Crosby
Strome.
effect. It's also the
I'm
Crosby
thinking they're well
effect.
coached. Well
It's
coached.
funny because they have a lot of
Makes
UFA.
everybody.
They have a lot of
Yeah,
UFA.
they
They
do.
have Malkin, Letang, Brandon Rust. And they don't trade anybody of them tomorrow.
No, they're not. They're going to
Power play, by the way, Vancouver. And
big.
then, Mr. Nortap, this is for you.
Dylan Storm come to the Leafs. Maybe in the off season if they deal for him, but not now. I don't think they'll let him go.
So how many goals do you think he has?
Who, Dylan? I think, what, 3?
17.
17.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He had a good year.
He didn't start
he
out
did.
good, but
But
I was
both
looking at it,
Strom
like,
have a good
what?
year this year.
He was like, yeah, he's got 35 points in 50 games, guys.
The problem is over there it's Kirby Dak.
He's not a problem.
Yeah.
He's a kid, man. He's like,
No, a problem like he did not play. He don't have a good year over there. He play under expectation.
Yeah,
Sophomore
I
jump.
think a full year with Derek King and he'll be fine. I think that was a really bad coaching situation. They have
Vancouver
terrible
just
defense.
score.
I mean, is there a defense that Pittsburgh or Chicago? I can't decide which one's worse.
Do you think Pittsburgh trade Kapanen tomorrow, or maybe later?
Nope. Why would you trade him?
Luc Lafortune said, good team chemistry like Pittsburgh. Strategic talk about settled first draft with Matty Bernier and Riker Evans look okay so far, but Bernier was a game and Riker such a high second rounder. Bernier have a good game, a good year in Michigan, by the way.
He's old.
No, but he have a good year in Michigan about that one over there. I think he'll be fine, but it's not like a top line.
No.
I think it would be more like a second line, third line worst case. Last team, the St. Louis Blues.
Yes.
They're going to
Yes,
try to.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
excuse me, guys.
That's all right.
That's such a weird team, eh? Like they've had a lot of success this year. Ryan has not had a big offensive year. Jordan Giroux is the real deal. Like, I don't know. They've got good depth on defense.
Andy Koivula just show up. Thanks to join us, Monsieur Andy. He said, welcome like Koskinen for Vizna.
So let's just take a look at St. Louis for a sec. They are second in the West. They have a .631 win percentage, 217 goals for and 173 against. I mean, you would not at the beginning of the season have said that. And Ryan O'Reilly only has like 35, 36 points. Wow. That's like Ryan's
They
got 39
struggle,
points.
unfortunately, they struggle in the last 15 game. That's what they are inconsistency.
But Pierre, they got 34 wins. They're like 16
No.
games above 500.
But they have a really big start with Kiro, Tarasenko.
Yeah.
And then you struggle with Bennington, Uso pick it up. Then they lost 4-5 game, 6 game with Perron, did not do well. Now Perron's doing well. It's just they are not like my point was just that they are not like they was at the beginning of the year where they was like phenomenal at the beginning. They have to find a way to groove to be sure they win 6-7 game every 10 games right now for until the end of the season. But Kiro did not do too much after the All-Star game, and they struggle overall for me. But they are better what we expect.
Yeah,
They're better,
I
yeah.
agree with that. And like they got off to that great start at the beginning. They've had some trouble recently, but it's I just don't think that they've clicked at the same time. Like you've had guys like I mean, more recently Perron's come strong a little bit more, but you had Tarasenko's on and off. Thomas has had a good year. Thomas has really had a good year. Bar had a decent year with them. Um,
Oh,
you know,
Robert Thomas with Buchnevich. But another player sleep. Barachev, after he started very great, he sleep now.
Barbashev, yeah.
That's another one
but
over there.
right,
You know,
that's what I'm
when
saying.
they was not
Barbashev,
doing well, Uso picked up their team, honestly, on my eyes.
yes,
Now,
Yeah.
again, I not
Very
say they
good.
are bad. I just said they don't play like they was at the beginning. They have to be back because they have a good team. That team is really good.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're looking for
very
a left
solid.
defenseman. They have a lot of injury on the defense. Now they play with MICHEL, another rookie over there. Now they're missing Scantella. I don't know he's back. But overall, that team would be great if they can get a LD on my eyes. But because they have a lot of offensive there. If Giroux
And that's
and
where I think you're
Buchnevich
going.
and O'Reilly did not play his best season in my eyes whatsoever. Is Brendan Shine have a good year overall. And Perron, he did not do nothing for
Yeah,
11 games before he got like 10 points the last 5 games.
that's right.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's
think
typical
about this
Perron,
is
though.
their scoring, which I think blows my mind. So Jordan Kyrou is the leading scorer. He's got 22
Yeah,
goals and 60 points in 57 games. Tarasenko is point a game at 54 points in 55
that's
games.
right.
Thomas is 48 points in 52 games. Bukic is 47 points on like they have 4 guys that are almost point a game. To your point, Barbashev has really overachieved early, but he's still at 19 goals. He's not
Yeah,
done
he's
great
doing
lately.
well.
Perron got a hat trick.
It's
Perron has missed significant time. He's played 47 games and he's still got 40 points. So you start going down
right.
this list, and then we're like, oh, well, Ryan underachieved. Well, Braden Shen has 39 points in 45 games. He's missed significant time. O'Reilly's
Yeah,
played, he's still got 39 points in 57 games. So he's on pace for a 55-point season. So
yeah,
that team is
and
very,
really, O'Reilly contributes much more than just offense.
way
I mean,
more.
this
Yeah.
guy's your leader,
I agree.
defensive.
Yeah.
I just think they haven't clicked as a collective team. They've all had their opportunities and have sort of come out at different times. But if they can get it all together and pick up, I say, a solid left defenseman tomorrow,
So
they're
then,
going to be very
okay,
hard
so
to
then
contend
listen,
with in the playoffs.
listen to this though. So I just rhymed off all those players, right?
Yeah,
You got Torrey Krug, who's got 35 points in 56 games. You know who's after him? Do you remember this guy even
probably
plays for the Blues?
Brendan Sod.
Brendan Saad's got 18 goals.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's how far down the list Brandon Saad is.
that's
Wow.
right.
So like I totally forget about the Blues, but there's a reason they're like 16 games up.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think they do with Carey Price and Artap?
Well, I
Contract
still think he's probably gonna draw 2 or 3 games, 2 to 3 games this year.
Really?
Uh, I think, like I've always maintained, I don't know what the intentions are behind Carey Price, whether he wants to be out of Montreal or not. If he wants to be out and Montreal knows this already, the management, then the reason why they would even consider, because I wouldn't, but even consider playing him 3 to 5 games at the end of this year is so that they can show the rest of the league that this guy is fully healthy and that
Yeah.
we'll have some kind of trade over the offseason. But personally, I think he's going to stay.
Will be interesting. Welcome back, Mr. Dan. I know Michael have to work tomorrow. The rest of us, we are retired. Just kidding. But
Yeah, it just means
we're
we're
going to
ancient.
go to the question. We're going to move to the question. I don't know if you want to stay or not, but it's up to you. We know you work tomorrow, so.
What one more quick thing on, so we were talking about Brandon Hagel. Like he's got 21 goals in 55 games.
Yeah.
Like no wonder everybody's shocked, because what do you think Kubalik has? Kubalik's only got 11 goals this year, Pierre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
A bit disappointing year for him. Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
I was talking to trade him right now to Edmonton or someone else.
That's what I was wondering. Like, do they trade him? Edmonton does not need any more forwards, guys. They got the freebie of Patrick Kane. That's kind of worked out, even though he's a dummy. What they need is they're not going to get what they need. But
They need a defenseman and a goalie.
They need a defense.
they definitely need a goal.
Yep.
Yamu said good morning.
Hey,
Good morning, Yamu. Midwest Sport laughing, but I'm sure it's not about us. He's laughing about the, I don't know, something else. I see why not Vegas signed that enough. This player has scary hands. But he's expensive at 5.5 million.
Yeah, he's overpriced.
Yamu said Harry Sateri is an interesting goalie, amazing last year at Team Finland Olympics goal.
But I don't know how that translates here in the NHL, though.
Nobody does. Like, this is the problem. Like, it's kind of like
It's a bit of a crapshoot.
Jose said, where do you think Piquet Subban go?
nowhere.
Retirement?
Not right now. This
No.
maybe in the off
I know,
season.
I'm joking.
I wondered do you think PK Subban retires?
I don't think so.
I got a weird suspicion. I
Striatic.
think he ends
Colin
up-
will overpay for Justin Braun. Yeah, probably.
For sure.
Possible about that one over there. I cannot bring Mr. Andrew, but we can hear him. So Andrew, you can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Here, I'll go. Keep Andrew on.
I'm sorry
I
again?
don't want to. If you need more space.
Oh, no,
just
you know
put him
what?
on.
That's okay. I mean, actually, I could pull out because I'm going to.
No, I don't know why. Usually I can bring someone, but I don't know why I cannot bring right now. I tried to get one more
Not
time.
every
Let
day
me
they
see.
get you, Mike, right?
They
Not
can
every
have me
day
every day.
they get you
I just
on
can't do it in the morning.
It's for some reason, I don't know why. So anyhow, let's move on to the Mr. In Our Tap, the quiz of the night. Let's try this right away. Oh my God! And I'm going to prepare this quiz. I'm going to make some note here. And I'm going to take a pen. And I'm going to set up properly. And Mr. Andrew, you're going to be here in the back down at the back and to hear what's going on. And the first question of the day is an NHL draft 2011. How many teams select 7 picks? How many teams select 7 picks during the 2011? The number is 6. Is it under, over, or exact? How many teams select 7 time and 2011 draft NHL? 6 team, under, over, or exact?
Or there's 7 rounds that year, right?
Under, it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And exact is 6.
How many teams select
they had
7 times?
All right, so let's start with Jose. We have Adam. We have Andy, Kelly, exact, RG, exact, Roland, under. We have Luc Lafortune, L, over. Mr. In Our Tap.
I'm going to go with over.
It's got to be over. That's so strange.
Mr. Andrew.
Over.
Michael.
If it's not, I got to think over. Like, I'm doing the math on that. There's only 7
I
rounds.
know.
Yeah, but they may not have picked all 7 rounds, so that's the.
But you've got like
Yeah.
20. You at least had
If I-
28 or 30 teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Midwest Sports said over. Carlos said under.
All the bad teams would have.
Michael, what do you answer?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Over.
Exactly. That's why I say that, right? We'll
And
find
the
out.
answer, that one over there. And we have over. All 3 said over. Oh my God! Under 5 team.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh,
brutal.
gosh.
5 team
hard to
got that
believe.
one over there, and 2011, and that's
hard to
happening about
believe,
that
yeah.
one. So we have Roland. Yamo is only one eye open. He got that one, and then Carlos got that one over there. I don't know. I didn't see. Kelly said exact. Next question.
Oh my God!
Here we go. NHL Draft 2011. How many players play over 500 games so far in NHL? 25 player of the 211 selected. Under, over, or exact?
Over
2011.
were there 25 players that played
10,
500 or more?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
10 years.
25 players. Do you believe they play 500 game? Is it exact, over, or under? We have Andy said exact. We have RJ said over. We have Adam said over. Welcome back, Adam. We have Jose Duarte said over. Roland said under.
210 players.
Maybe so. That's like the whole first round. That kind of makes sense.
I'm just trying
I'm
to
gonna
do
go
some
with
Luc Lafortune said over. Yamo said over. Kelly said
I'm gonna
under.
say-
or 1/8.
Let's start with Mr. Andrew this time.
Yeah, Andrew, come on.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna go with
Andrew is still in the bathroom.
Sorry, Andrew. I'll get off here in a second.
That's okay, buddy. Like I say, we don't get you all the time, so,
So what you answer?
over.
Over. All right. Andrew, over. Jeffrey Alter, over. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thanks to join us late, but thanks. Don't forget to click on the likes. Carlos said over. And Otta.
Well, the numbers are too rounded off to be exact. I'm gonna go with under.
Under. So we have an over and under. And Mr. Michael DeVellano
I'm gonna go with C exact.
with C exact.
Oh my God!
One of us
Exact.
is right. There goes my logic.
And
Yeah,
we
me
have Andy Kuiwula and Michael DeVellano join the party with the 3 others. And we have only 5 people with 1 good answer so far. 3 to go.
Oh my God!
Question number 3. Which team lost the game number 7 and their franchise and they are not original 6? Which team lose the most of the game number 7 and their franchise and they are not original 6? Is it St. Louis, Washington, Pittsburgh, or Colorado lose the most game number 7?
In what, the Stanley Cup final or where?
Any game like
Playoff.
quarter, semifinal, conference, or Stanley Cup.
Because
Okay.
St. Louis
I
went to
think
the
I have
finals
this.
their first
Adamberger, Colorado.
Yeah.
game 7.
Luc Lafortune says St. Louis. Thank you,
I
Luc.
wonder if it's Washington.
Midwest Sport says St. Louis. Kelly said Washington. We have Bruno, he said Colorado. Andy said Pittsburgh. Roland said St. Louis. Jeffrey said Pittsburgh. Yamo said Washington. And Carlos said St. Louis. And
there an
we
E?
start with Michael DeVellano on that one.
I'm gonna go with Washington B.
Michael DeVellano go with Washington. Mr. Enartap.
It's definitely Washington.
And
Exactly.
Mr. Andrew.
Washington. Yeah, I know it's them.
Really? Okay.
So Andrew, what are you
Either gonna
doing?
be all right together or all wrong.
Washington.
They're all wrong.
So Andrew, you go with Washington?
Yep.
All right. So you can be all winner or all loser.
God!
And the answer to this one, guys, is you're right. Washington 12 and Yamo and Michael Develano take the lead at 2, and the rest of many of you are 1. And I don't want to mention how the 1 are 0 like Luc Lafortune.
Oh my God!
We love you,
Oh
Luc.
my gosh.
Question number 4, I believe. How many goals and OT during the playoff at Washington Capitals Arena franchise?
How many?
31. So, in the history and playoff time, how many goals overtime happening in Washington? All the players in NHL, so they play on two different building, I believe. How many goals was in OT and the playoff? Not season, regular season, only an OT playoff. How many goals happening at the Washington rink? 31. Under or over?
Oh my God.
Bruno said over. Midwest said under. Yamo said over.
I have no idea.
Kelly said over. Bruno
I
said
know that.
Meta Versa said over. Midwest said under. After that, Yamo said over. And we have hold on, I forgot.
God, I don't know.
Jose under. Yeah, Andy over. We have Luc Lafortune over. We have Roland over. We have Yamo. How many times OV score? That's a good question. Jeffrey said over. And we start with Mr. Inotap.
Oh boy.
Under RJ
go-
Carlos under.
I'm gonna go under.
Under Inotap. Patrick Spino said C. All right. And
See, there's no C, buddy.
and Michael DeVillano on under or over?
Oh my God, this is like, I'm just gonna roll the dice. I don't have any dice. I have a coin you can flip. What did you said? You said under, eh? You said A
Yeah.
in your tab.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go B just to be different, but I honestly don't know.
You go with B over. All right. And Mr. Andrew
A.
under. So we have 1 over and 2 under, right?
Oh my God!
And the answer is over. 33-3, and we have right now Michael Deverneau at 3, Yamo at 3, Rona at 2, and Andy Koivula at 2 are going to be the end. Dan Asham have a good answer would be over. Last question of the night for the winner of the contest of the Power Play show tonight. The NHL playoff. This is a tough one. The NHL playoff home record. What is the winning percentage during the game overtime? And the history NHL. When the game is at home, all right? What is the percentage of the team win at home? Is it 0.535? Is it 0.495? 0.560 or 500? The team home got the game number 7, all right, or the game overtime. The winning percentage is what? And not only game number 7, by the way, it's all the games, first round, second round, third round, and the game go in overtime. How many times the home win?
So this is a record?
It's not it's not a record. It's just a home record. A record. That was
So all games, all
yeah,
time.
yeah.
The percentage that, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Let's start with Bruno at C, Roland at C. We have Jose at B. Jose Eduardo. Mr. Jose, if you don't have no answer, I think you're 0-4 tonight. 405. Don't want to let you know, but that's why I do my job.
This is where Yermo takes the lead on this one. I have
Andy
no
said
idea.
5A. Kelly, coach, I have 2 right. Yes, you have 2 right. Luc Lafortune said C. Patrick said under. RG said D. We have Jeffrey C. Midwest, A. Kelly, D. We have Yamo, A. Carlos, C. And Jose have one coach. Yes. And then Dan said B. And it's time for Mr. Andrew.
C.
C.
Yeah.
At Canada. All right. Michael DeVillano, this for the win. By the way, Yamu would take A. So, and
Yeah,
maybe
I was
some
gonna
other people
say-
can win also.
I feel like it's A, but I don't. I have no idea. I'm gonna say A.
A.
I'll put my
So both
I'm
of
gonna go in the
them,
same
if they don't get it, possible some other people win tonight.
yeah. Somebody will pass us, but I don't know. I honestly, that was the number I thought of, but
Mr.
I'll-
Inortap, it's just for the principle, Mr. Inortap, because I think you have only one good answer.
watch it be B.
I think it's A. I think it's A.
What is this?
A.
A. And Mr. Andrew Lepage is what again?
C.
C. All right. Wow. If it's under the letters, maybe we have a people win tonight.
Oh my God!
The answer is D.
Oh my god!
And
Oh, man.
Oh my God!
Kelly come back and tie the game with Michael DeVillano and Yamo Vertanen. All three have a 3 good answer on 5. Rada at 2. Andy Quivila at 2. Many of you are 1. Oh, RJ is at 2. Many of you are at 1. And some of you did not mention their name are at 0. Congratulations for that one over there. Let's find Mr. Andrew. He's just out of the bedroom. So that's happening about that one over there. But 500 for the home winning game overall in the franchise. That's pretty much amazing. Say that about that. 32 pick on the next 3 pick. Well done, Kelly. Great job, Michael, Yamo, and Kelly. Kelly, the queen of the quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, this complete another great power play show of the Sunday night trade deadline. What's happening tomorrow? We are live tomorrow from 12 o'clock until 4. Some people will show up at some point, some insiders, some people will invite, and both of 3 of you, if you want to join at some point, you're welcome to come. I know some work, some does not work, but we appreciate anyway your time tonight. Michael DeVillano. Next time we do a power play, we let you know. It look like the evening is the best way to get you. We appreciate you come back. Long time we didn't see you around. People was excited in the chat. So congratulations again, Michael, for your participation tonight. And
What's the game plan tomorrow, Pierre?
I open up at 12 until 4.
Okay, send it to me. I'll try and join.
Yeah. Well, it's the same link.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Yeah. So anytime you can pop up. Yeah. Yeah. Not a problem with that part of there. So Andrew, you're welcome too. And Mr. Notab, I know you're working, but who knows, you may be possible you can open up. My friend, we thank you so much, everybody in the chat, for also to join us tonight. It was an amazing, great night. We go through a lot of questions. We did it. We was not too late. At some point, maybe Danny looked like he fall asleep, but maybe wake up tomorrow at the shark under the water. We'll see what's happening about him. We'll see. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. Before we leave, we want to remind everybody,
You are awesome.
Oh, I don't know anymore.
You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation tonight. Insider, we wish you an amazing, great night. Until the next time, we wish you an amazing, great week, everybody. And don't forget, for 12 o'clock p.m., we are back for another live stream, the Morning Skate Show. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. And be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but Mr. Notap, find a way to do what?
Dominate your 2022.
Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Thank you.
Great one.
Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show. Oh, oh, oh. pride.